There we go, unmuting everything. Hello everybody, guys, welcome on in. This is The Haunting of Harrowstone, episode number 7. Brilliant, I love it. Guys, how's everybody doing out there? Cobalt, you're looking significantly shinier today, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I wonder why.
You know, it's I think you're pulling it off. I don't think I could, man. I got a cue ball and it just does not really work for my head shape.
My head's too round, man. I thought I was gonna be lumpy like mashed potatoes, but I guess underneath it's pretty round, so that's a good surprise.
Yeah, you actually look decent with a bald head.
Yeah.
Like if I have a bald head, I just look like a bowling ball. Like it's just so round. People are like, "What are you doing?"
If it ever stops growing, I am not screwed, I guess. So that's good news.
Yeah.
I shaved my head and it felt really like I felt very strange.
Yes.
It's just a strange thing.
It gets hella cold. It's true. I had super long hair at one point, and then I cut it off to this. Like my hair was longer than Maggie's at one point before I cut it all off to this, and yeah, you forget how cold it actually is.
We broke the stream. They were shaving my hair. Like I had long hair like this, but it was like purple. And they were like shaving my hair with like the shaver, and the stream was just like losing their shit, and we crashed it.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Damn,
it wasn't my stream. It was like on the Planet Side 2 stream.
Oh, that's fun. That's super cool though,
man.
Does it
have like a weight difference too, right? Like you're so used to like
yeah, your head feels weird.
Do you like hit your head like when you're turning? Like if you have like you're used to something being heavier and.
I stopped getting headaches. I don't know, like that was something nobody ever told me about, but I stopped getting headaches. Yeah.
Headaches.
Cut off 3 feet of hair.
I told them, Lisa. I told them you wanted to shave yours, and I told them that I said go for it.
Do it.
Lisa, do it.
Do it.
We were all for it. We're like, girl, you're hot. You can pull off a shaved head.
You got this. I mean, not that you need my endorsement or anything, but
yeah,
you
do
it anyway.
You don't need our endorsement, but.
So.
I'm not lying.
I'm assuming that everybody is, aside from the 2021 stresses, everybody is mostly alive and doing well. I mean, you guys showed up here.
I mean, I'm alive. I'm here. Or am I?
Getting philosophical on us here. Let's talk about what happened last time we played. Can you guys remember what happened last time we played?
I have it written down.
The silence is deafening.
Everyone frantically goes to look for their notes.
Ello gave us a really moving speech.
He did in
about
fact.
his past and some of the knowledge of maybe what some of the people behind what's going on in the town with the Nadal.
Yeah,
And,
there you go. He's from Nadal, correct.
the god, Zylagathagathagath.
Zon Kothan?
Don Kuthan.
Kuthan.
Nailed it.
I don't know. I like the other one better.
I don't know. Was that right? Was that right? I just threw it out
Zon
there.
Kuthan?
Yeah,
It's
it was
definitely Zon
Zon
Kuthan.
Kuthan.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm proud of you. Look
Surprise.
at you. Look at you. Yep.
Thanks.
But before that, we had a lot of talking as Pevrin lay there unconscious. I was like,
The
this is a
sheriff.
lot of conversation while this kid is just unconscious.
You know, it's
Um,
like, hey, there's townspeople here. We should probably move this somewhere else. We don't want to get in trouble.
We're
Yeah.
pretty 100% certain that he was possessed after everyone kind of examined what was happening. Torvin smelled some like weird perfume.
Right.
And then I think he saw like the murder that Torvin put away. And then there was like
Oh, the Mosswater Marauder.
a woman cudgel slashed on her face. It was like, I don't know, creepy stuff. I don't know. That's the notes that I wrote down. I was like, what?
Player
is
notes
that?
are a gift and also
correct?
terrifying. Yeah.
Motioned Sheriff Benjamin Caller to come over and then chatted with him for a bit.
Mm-hmm. What's Benjamin's? What's his deal? You guys have had some feelings about this character, Benjamin Kaler. What's his deal?
Seems like no one trusts him to be the sheriff because they're like pulling us in to do his work, kind of, and he doesn't seem to like that.
He's a very happy guy. I think he lives his life with a live and let live sort of motto. He quite the opposite.
He says live, laugh, love.
He
As
seems a
soon as you
little
enter his house.
grumpy. He seems a little grumpy. He's
Yeah,
got
he
a
does.
case of the Mondays.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Maybe
does.
because people in his village are, mysteriously being possessed and he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
If
man.
I was sheriff of a town that was next to a haunted prison that burnt down in a D&D setting, I might not be the happiest camper either. But
I think he's out of his league a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little out of his league. You think he would be more humble if he was out of his league, but he's not. He's very prideful, it seems like. So, that's my
and
take
him
on
and
him.
him and the tavern keeper don't get along as well.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't get along. That's true. And the tavern, I'm actually headed, when we left off, I think I was headed to the tavern
Yes.
keeper to tell him what's going on with his son.
With Pevrin, yeah.
With Pev.
Yeah.
And then after they were having their conversation, Jamenda came over and she kind of talked about what she thought might be happening, but she didn't seem like she had a lot of information for us. But she could potentially tell us what those potions were that we gave her, or that we have. So we gave her like one of each different kind, so maybe she can determine that. So we'll go visit her at some point.
Yeah.
And then Rye asked us to kind of go to the side while the sheriff watched over Pevrin, which he was okay with doing. But when we got back, he was very grumpy about how long it took us.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. He told us to he was like, take your time, do whatever means you need to do. So then we did. And then when we came back, he was like, what the fuck took you so long? So I don't know what he wants from us.
I would recommend going back and listening, not right now, after the show's over, going back and listening to Rye's speech if you want to really know all of it. But he talked a little bit about Nadal, which Nadal has come up a few times, and Zon Kuthan, who we have a book from, which is the Prince of Darkness. He told us a little bit more about the Umbres, which is the Umbral Court, and how the nobles who are vying for power would do it through any means to please Zon. He talked a lot about the torment and his childhood and the orphanage and the family that he was from, which is a really sad story, and how they died or how they unlifed.
They were poisoned with the bread that he brought them.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely
they were
not
turned
good
into
stuff.
zombies,
Assumed.
basically.
Assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Rice still doesn't really know what happened.
That's what I'm assuming is happening. But
Yeah.
yeah, so very tormented story.
Or at
that
least
we
that's
found
what
out.
Rice said. He doesn't know. I mean, who knows? There's still all sorts of things
That's
going on.
true. Maybe
There's a
Rice
lot of
lying to
working
us all.
cogs here. No, but the takeaway was that there was so where we're at, obviously is not Nadal. Nadal is Rye's hometown where he kind of grew up, but he's seeing a lot of similarities, and Nadal's a very dark place. For those of you who are watching that are just new here from Cobalt's, it's a town that's run by basically a torment god. Like he would rather torment you than necessarily, kill you, kind of thing. And that's Zon Kuthan, which was the name we said earlier. So basically, there's a lot of dark happenings that are reminiscent of that place where we're at right now. So we're sort of investigating dark happenings.
Yeah, he's like a Cenobite lord, like full on. And it's the idea is that there's refinement in torture.
Define Cenobite. That's
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. Oh, yeah. It is Hellraiser. Okay, yeah.
Very much in that same vein. Lots of leather, plenty of teeth.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, that's very accurate. Yeah.
Nadal's not a super great place, and most people don't make it out alive. In fact, they count on that because then you're more useful when you're dead. At least that's the goal.
Neither did Rye's family, but no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn.
It's terrible.
Damn.
It's terrible.
Oh, it's
it's
a little,
so bad.
a little, maybe too soon. I don't know.
I don't know.
Higgs, don't tread on me to a whole new level.
Damn it.
I'm joking. I'm joking anyway.
It's perfect.
Everyone's like, Maggie's so mean.
It's fine, Rye's fine.
So this, I know anybody can answer this, but this might be a bit more in the wheelhouse of Rye or Ello. Peverin. Peverin is what you believe to be what exactly?
A little bitch.
Also
trouble.
11.
Yeah.
In trouble? Yes. Yeah. Maybe.
Possessed?
But possessed. There's a title.
The channeler thing.
He was
conduit.
A conduit.
Conduit.
Yes.
Yeah.
A conduit from your town. You didn't really get that so far, at least from his father, Zokar. Zokar doesn't exactly strike you as the type to come from that area. Not that it's unheard of, but most people that are conduits thrive and are born in Nadal. But yeah, he might be a conduit, and you've gathered this information from the fact that he has been possessed by what figure? Trip, correct. Yeah. Trip. A conduit is essentially, think like a walking glove where you have a soul that can possess. Someone else can possess that and utilize the body. But they do it under certain conditions, very specified conditions. However, a child, especially that is not outside of an adult, doesn't exactly understand how those conditions work and will in turn allow them to operate freely without manifesting those conditions. So that might mean that maybe Trip is like the perfect hand for this glove, or it might mean that literally anyone can possess Peverin. It's hard to say at this point. But you went on to say that Benjen and Zokar don't get along well. Did you discover why? Did I tell you guys why last week?
For which thing?
So.
Why Zokar
the sheriff
and the sheriff don't get along?
Remember?
It was something to do.
I think I told you guys after.
Peverin, right? It like something to do with the.
Yeah, I told you I did. I told you guys just after. And even it was after our recording. The reason they don't get along is because he had to explain to Zokar that his son was caught being a peeping Tom.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That was not on the stream. That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Peverin was caught, or at least he was reported as being found as a peeping Tom. And
what were the specifics on that? Was he like okay, hold on. Peeping Tom has a lot of connotation. Yeah, is he in a window looking at? Yeah, exactly. This could have been a situation where he was just frolicking through the forest and came across a beautiful bathing maiden, which happens in D&D all the time.
All right, you lost me at frolicking.
I'm just saying he's 11. He may frolic. He might through the forest.
We know what Ella was doing.
Listen, if I happened upon a beautiful bathing maiden, okay, and I was 11,
he frolics.
It's not my fault.
Happily.
That's an adult bathing outside. All right. Why is that adult putting their naked body in front of my 11-year-old eyes? Who's the adult here?
The questions, I don't
So
know.
is it Pevrin
qualified.
that was the problem? Or are these beautiful naked women just all naked all over the place? I don't know.
throwing
Do
themselves
not
at
even
him.
start
I
that,
mean-
Ello.
You should go into politics. You do so well.
My mom always said I'd be a good lawyer.
I love it. So that's currently the shakedown. But how did the session end?
No, there's more.
Oh, go for it. Hit me
I'm
with it.
not done.
Let's see what you got.
Then we went to Kendra's house, and Temerity. Well, not all of us went to Kendra's house. Some people went to Kendra's house. Temerity was taking care of Pevrin, and Rye went to tell Zolkar what was going on with Pevrin. And Torvin and Eli did some research in the library. They heard a weird thud. I can't remember what happened with that thud. Do you guys remember what happened with the
It
thud?
was the box that we found in the
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
Ouija board box.
4
Mhm.
vials. There was iron and glass etched with a skull on top of them. Green liquid with something viscous and
Yeah, we had a cool
white
picture of it,
inside
too.
of it. Yeah. And then the light flickered out in the room as soon as they touched the vial.
And it started raining too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, fresh rain. Not that it's been entirely foreign to this place, but you noticed that it came on quite more torrentially. And everybody heard something.
And yeah, everyone heard a haunt siphon. We heard some weird like hissing, drawing of breath. Pevrin like sat up, which is, great. And everything seemed darker.
Yes.
And new drops of rain fell down. And Oz is all alone in the monument area.
Oh God,
So
poor
it's
Oz.
True. Yeah, you are just kind of chilling over there.
Oz is like, what the fuck?
I was on my way
Yeah.
back to the monument, though, I think.
You were
watching
with
Pevrin.
Pevrin.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, that's
watching
right.
Pevrin.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, I made that choice. Sorry. Thanks.
What can you learn from the statue?
Oh yeah,
though,
I guess
now
I'm
that
with my
it's
packer.
raining?
So
Hard to say.
If it's raining, wouldn't like all of the blood and stuff be like washed away? Wouldn't like
maybe
from the
Just
that's
depends.
not going to be helpful.
It depends on what Oz can find.
Oh, something else that we haven't mentioned is that Oz and Rye it called mums, which was our secret
Yes.
word. We have a little
Now
secret
we're all
alliance.
part of a secret club.
Now we're all part of a secret club. That we revealed that we knew that Kendra was maybe consorting with some sort of dark figure or entity in her bedroom, which Oz discovered late at night and admitted to Rye, but Rye was like, keep it hush hush, because I didn't trust everyone around. But after I kind of sat them down and talked to them, I think Oz was like, can we tell them? Like is it the time? And it's like, well, I guess so, mums, here we go. So we revealed that Kendra is consorting with dark figures, whatever that
Or
may
some
mean.
kind of shadowy something.
Yeah, so to be careful what you say in the Kendra house, because the Kendra house seems like not a safe place to be having important conversations. Also, Rye is super suspect of Kendra because she couldn't stay away when we asked her to, even though he was trying. He got casted a spell on him. Okay.
And his father and her father told us not to tell her. So I wonder
yes. I was.
now
oh my God.
it's all like
Maybe
what's
she
that?
killed him.
Why doesn't he want? Yeah, maybe she killed him.
Listen, Kendra is more powerful
Sus.
than I think we know.
I was
And
thinking,
yeah, super sus.
I was
remember
thinking
that
he
fire
wanted to
thing?
protect her, but maybe he wants to protect us.
I
or
think
other
she
people
used the
from
vent.
her.
I think if she was going to kill him, she wouldn't have done it the way that it had occurred.
No, probably not.
She's also not evil, because I did detect evil, and she wasn't evil. So
That
I
doesn't
don't
mean
know.
that she couldn't have been a conduit.
yeah.
Additionally,
Sometimes people do evil things because
Exactly.
they think they're doing it for the right reasons.
correct. Good people
all
are
point of
capable of
view.
murder.
Mm.
Neutral people
Yeah.
are still capable of murder. Maybe they thought that they were trying to save someone else's life. Who knows, right? Like you guys just came across a book of Zon-Kuthon, information about the place between spaces. There's a lot of information there that might leave him suspect. I mean, the people of the town are even discussing, like, we don't want him here. He was a necromancer. He can't be here. His family's got to go.
The line of suspects is very long.
It's growing. Yeah. So
Everyone's guilty.
I'm going to start today.
Can we just burn the village down? Is that
Wow.
a viable option?
Wow! If we
I mean, this all started with a fire. Let's end it with a fire, baby.
Sounds like an
Didn't
Oz
start the
idea.
fire? Oh god.
You know, I'm all about efficiency.
Well, Rye would have probably no moral conundrums about it. I mean, he would want the dog to survive. Rye wouldn't want the dog to die, though. He would probably help Hap escape his big heart for
To his
dogs.
belly.
Heverin and the innkeeper can come, and then everyone else is just.
Yeah, everybody else. I mean, I think you guys have really only met like 8 people in the town of
Maybe.
300. You're like, yeah, fuck them all except that little
Yeah,
kid.
We know all we need to know.
Oh Jesus.
If they're not bad, then they could be possessed to be bad. So
Sure.
let's just
Exactly. They're future hosts for undead. Let's get them.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care of the problem
That's
now.
true.
yeah.
Oh man, this is what
I look for
Just
gasoline. I look for
kidding.
gasoline. I'm doing it. Is there anything flammable around?
Well, everything's
I'm
wet
done.
now, so
I probably have a
it's
spell
gonna
that
dry
can
it
light
up.
things on fire. Let's go. You get the gasoline. I got the flame.
There
Eli,
you go.
we may have to kill the party. I'm just saying. All right.
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
Oh god.
Hit the hammer.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, folks. Let's kick this off. You guys have got a pretty good grasp about what's happened in the town thus far.
Do
So?
we?
I mean, at least what's been given to you. Sure, there's some destinations to rove, but I have no doubt that you will find a shovel and continue digging down as opposed to out, because that's what players do, at least until it all clicks. So let's see what clicks today. I'm going to start our reign. This is moments after you've heard the hiss. And we will start our tale with Oz. Oz. You've decided to stay behind. At this point, people have started to disperse. They've left their place. There's nothing really more to glean from the situation. The statue was bloodied, of course, but now with rain and no body to be found, the gossip will move around the rumor mill, but there's nothing else to talk about. So you stayed behind. I'd like to know what it is that you wish to be doing while you're here.
Does anyone else stay behind, or does it seem like I'm fairly much the only person?
You're pretty much the only person.
Okay. I think he's going to take a second look at, obviously, the area in which the blood was found. There was no body found, but there was blood found. The thing that
Yes.
sucks is that there were a lot of people here, so they might have, like, messed up this crime scene, potentially. But I think Oz is just looking for things that might be just out of the ordinary, strange. And I think this time he's looking even for more peculiar, out of the ordinary things. Like things that maybe it's not just human nature style, you know what I mean?
Sure. All right.
Paranormal strangeness.
Is there any skills that you would like to use here in this to help you?
Well, I'm down with perception.
Okay.
If that works.
Sure.
Is there anything else that
Do you have any tools that you might like to use?
Oh.
Like a brass planchette?
Oh. Well, I was told not to use that.
Hey,
But
Oh, I think
DM,
we've
stop getting
gone
us in
past
trouble.
that now.
what do you mean?
I think he'll look around first, and then if nothing comes to fruition, he might be tempted.
Would you perhaps want to use the item that has possessed everyone before it, that has used it? Would that perhaps be something you want to do?
No, maybe. I'll see
Would
how
you like to
Pega's
cast
feeling about it.
Fireball at a nearby villager? Would you want
She
to
looked
do that?
left and right first.
She
Sounds
did.
great to me.
She's
Yeah.
just checking to make sure there's not any oncoming traffic.
Yeah. First you look around,
Yeah. Okay.
then you secure your pecker, and then you
That's
light
right.
shit on fire.
Oh, God. Oh, instructions unclear. Okay.
Would you
so,
like me to roll that then?
Yeah, of course. What are you utilizing an item, or are you trying to just see what you can
I
stumble
think he's
across?
gonna look first,
Okay.
and then
Sure.
he's
let's
a
see
little
what you can
freaked out
find.
right now because it started raining.
Oh, also,
14.
not only was there a card unlocked today, there is one of these bad boys. This is coming out. Additionally, Broccoline from chat subgifted 100 gift subs, so everybody has all of your luck rerolls.
Oh, hey.
All hail the broccoline.
For the rest of the campaign.
Everybody eat broccoli today in honor of broccoline.
For the rest of the campaign, we
I
have
heard that.
rerolls. Is that what you're saying? Because 100 gifted fucking subs.
Not quite the rest of the campaign, but at least for the rest of the session. Let's start there. We'll see how the night goes.
When are we gonna draw the card? I'm really excited about the card.
Yeah,
The card
No,
was
he
already
drew it.
drawn.
It's the
Oh, it's
demon
already been
lantern.
drawn.
The Demon's
Can we
Lantern.
know what it is? Can we know what's going on?
You can't know what it's gonna do, but it's the card is called the Demon's
Demon
Lantern.
The Demon's
Nothing
Lantern.
good.
Correct. The card
Yeah,
was
nothing
aligned.
good.
It was aligned, which means that it is in the favor of the players.
Oh.
Okay. You did
All
laugh
right.
maniacally though,
Because it
which may not be in the favor of the players.
it pushes some timelines, not so intensely as like the Darkest Timeline, but it pushes timelines.
Oh.
Why?
Great.
I have like Darkest Timeline PTSD. You cannot.
I
I'm
imagine it
sorry.
like Darkest Dungeon, where like the torchlight's just going down. That's what I'm imagining is happening here.
Ah, yeah.
Everything's
yeah.
fine, you guys.
That's why we have to light the town on fire.
Oh my god.
So we relight the torch, so there's no evil around.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right. With a 14, what do I get, Pub? Before we just go off on another
Sure.
tangent.
Are you happy with the 14? Would you want to use
Oh.
any of your luck rerolls?
I'm afraid to reroll.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I want to,
What is specific fear?
but I'm afraid
She might
it
need
could be
them.
lower than a 14.
Hey,
I just
man.
have a
Here.
fear of re-rolling.
I hear
just
dice are random.
generally all the time.
Oh god.
I have re-roll phobia.
Is there a name for that phobia? Because
There's gotta be. There's so
gotta
many
be now.
phobias. There's so many
Yeah.
phobias.
Someone look it up. Tell
I'm
me.
sure it's not dice rolling. I imagine it's like testing fates or chance or something like that. There's got to be one that exists.
No, there's got to be one specifically for dice rolling. And
Zer-
specifically for re-rolling
Zerophobia?
and dice rolling. Like the first
Zerophobia?
dice, you're totally fine. You're like, no, man, fuck that second re-roll.
So Zerophobia is the fear of dice.
Wow. Okay.
But I'm not afraid of dice. I'm just afraid of like
I know, but so close.
re-rolling for a lower one.
I think we got to go with it. I don't think there'll be anything more specific.
It's
Dang.
true, Jezebel. I had 3 re-rolls and I didn't get to use them last time. Okay, fine. We'll re-roll.
Okay. All right. There it
Wow.
is.
Oh,
Hard the
you
cards.
You pressured me,
That's right.
okay? You happy, chat? You happy?
Fuck,
Do it.
I'm happy.
Alright.
I'm
Do
not
it.
even chat. Let's go.
22! Oh, all right.
Wow.
Okay.
My
All right.
fear is gone.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. That's what I needed actually. I needed
That's
that.
what you needed, sir. 22.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So scenario set here, my friend.
Uh-oh.
It's becoming more and more difficult to pick up additional details based on where you are. The area is already rather muddy. It is the shore of a small river that runs through the town. And you know, with each passing second, details are lost. The blood, they've already thrown some fluid up onto the statue so as to make sure that it washes away, but the rain is going to remove all of this, as you know. So you're paying close attention to anything that you might be able to glean in the situation. And as you're focusing, you do notice something a bit different. You've wandered a decent amount of way away from the statue at this point. Everybody's kind of gone off in their own directions. But something that you do notice, that there is what looks to be a small print attached to the base of the statue where someone had blood on their shoe. Their boot, there is a boot print pattern just at the base of the statue. Anyone could have missed this, but you picked it up. And moments after you get this detail, heavy drops of rain smack the spot, and it disperses, slowly washing this away time and time.
Oh, gosh darn it. Oz says, is like rushing over to the spot to try to make a copy of the print.
Sure. You manage to lose the tip of the boot print, but what you do follow is that there was a heavy impression. The impression seems to fill up and saturate with water. So the only thing that you really have here to help you is the weight of the individual that is left in the mud. It seems that something occurred and this person turned and began moving rapidly. The mud is pushed back deftly behind it. But it seems to stagger away as it hits taller grass that seems to also be growing on the beach.
All right. Oz looks down in his bucket and he's like, well, Pecker, looks like we're going on a wild goose chase. And he starts following the footprints.
The moment that you begin to step into the tall grass, there's a noticeable ruffle with Peck. You hear the and you see the feathers sort of come upward. And he doesn't really do this much. This is something that is fairly uncommon for him. He's a rather docile rooster. But you hear something. More than the hiss before. A whimper. A cry.
Oz looks down at the bucket as Pecker's making the noise and is like, shh. And then he's going to stealth towards the whimpering.
You focus again on that whimpering and where it's come from. And it's in the direction of the statue. Where you've begun to move off to follow this boot pattern. The whimper comes from behind.
Okay. Sharply turns around. Do I see anyone by the...
No one there. But you know what you heard.
Peep it.
Slowly walk that direction stealthily.
Okay, alright. I would like for you to explain to me how you stealthily walk in the middle of the open ground with nothing to hide behind.
Crawl, combat style.
It's Pink Panther walk, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. You and Peck begin to walk in the direction and the destination of the statue. There stands a 25-foot bronze statue of whom, can you recall?
The warden.
The warden, yeah. There he is, holding what looks to be some sort of cudgel in hand, the stoic figure that overlooks the river. He faces the destination and direction of Harrowstone Prison.
The Mad King Leoric.
Levi. Oz looks down at Pecker and is like, well, I told him I wasn't going to use it, but... he pulls out the planchette.
Ah!
Takes a little peek-see.
Okay. You don the planchette. You draw it from your bag. And the moment that you feel it coalesce to your face, I need a will save.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna Wilson.
Every time.
That's why I don't touch that fucking thing. My will is 0. 0
All right.
will.
Here we go. 18.
Very good. Very good. You resist the compulsion. You feel this unnatural draw as you sort of pan the horizon, looking for a figure. Be it man or woman. You're certain that was probably a woman, but nothing you can tell. But as you begin to sort of peel back, you see something catch in the air above you, but only through the planchette. A woman. She's floating next to the statue, 18 or so feet up into the air. Her hand caresses the face of the statue. I'm going to give you an image here. I'm going to share this with everyone.
It's his wife, right?
Everyone should be able to see that there.
He's actually a debt collector. Warden
Dang,
of money.
girl.
And
Looking fine.
everyone else can see this now.
Warranty.
Yeah, you can see it.
Perfect. This woman here hangs in the air. She's floating. Her feet are pointed downward. She's focused very intently on this stoic figure. You notice their face is distraught. Do you say anything? Do you do anything?
Oz gives it a moment to see what's happening. If she doesn't do anything else other than cry and like touch the face of the thing, then he will speak up.
She continues on 10 seconds, 20, a minute before the hand slowly falls to her side and she glances down at you. Her eyes catch yours.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt your moment. Are you all right, ma'am?
She looks around for a moment, as if panning the horizon similarly to find someone, before responding.
I miss him. Have you ever missed someone?
Yeah.
He was a good man.
Well, worth missing then.
You can see me. Why?
Well, I have a thing that lets me see. He hesitates to not say dead people and says, things I don't think I'm supposed to see.
Does that allow you to see the dead?
Maybe.
I know that I'm dead. I know that I died.
Well, then, maybe you can help me out.
She sounds a little confused. So, like, the way that you can see her brow sort of furrows, right? Like, it's almost this confusion on her face. She's not sure what you might mean by that.
How can I help you?
Well, I think there's something mighty weird going on in this town. And it might set you free.
But why would I want to be free?
So you don't have to be sad anymore.
I'll never have him back.
Why not?
She turns, almost as if she's adroit to the idea of speaking of this.
Well, that's all right if you don't want to talk about it. But, you see, something happened here. And Oz kind of walks over to the spot where he saw the blood originally. Right here. Did you maybe see what happened?
A man. With razor.
What did the man with the razor do?
He spilled blood.
His own or somebody else's?
It came from a skin. A drinking skin.
You mean water?
She nods.
Well, Well, that's not what I'm looking for.
I'm sorry. Will you be around long?
No need to be sorry either, ma'am. I'm just looking for some answers. So if you have some, you have some. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I hope I'm gonna be around for long, but you never know.
Will you tell others that you can see me?
Well, a few of my friends know that I can see some weird stuff. So, kinda.
Will they not see you strange?
Well, I think people think I'm strange as is, so I've just kind of embraced that part of myself.
There's a moment, a long pause before she finally she's moved down, like she's floated enough to where she's in front of you. Not like not close enough to touch you, but she seems to try to take a step, and she reaches out to sort of touch your hand. But her hand passes through yours, and you get this bizarre feeling. It's almost as if at first it feels like heat, but then cool wraps over your arm down the elbow, and she just realized that she passes through.
Now that was a weird feeling. I'd never felt something like that before.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
I don't know if I liked it or I didn't, but he shrugs.
She turns. There is shame. Definite shame.
Where are you going?
I shouldn't be. No. Only for Levar.
But, well, I was hoping maybe you can answer some other questions, even if you don't know what happened here.
She takes a step, and then she waits.
I can try.
Were you there? During the fire?
She nods emphatically.
Yes.
Do you know what happened? How it started?
Yes. It was late, and Levar should have been home. Too late. I stumbled in, and I was looking for him. And the guards, they were none to be found. I heard screams. And found that he had fallen. There. A lift had fallen into the ward below. And the prisoners, they were holding them. They said they would kill him. They said they would kill him.
Must have been scary. But then what happened?
She pauses for a moment, and she begins. It's like she wants to tell you something more, but her eyes seem to transfix elsewhere.
I'm sorry. I think I'm being watched. I don't feel safe. I'm not.
And before she can seem to break any more, another voice seems to pitch over.
Vesoriana. You know not to say more.
I'm sorry.
She spins, and as she does, she disappears before you. A twist of air, and she is no more.
I was, gasped and puts the planchette down.
when you glance back around you, the steps have begun to fill with water to such a degree that you've lost them. The mud and sand are starting to spill back over to wash away the prints, removing any evidence of anyone being there.
Darn it. Oz says, kicking the mud.
Oz, do you return to the others, or do you hope to find more here?
I think he'll return to the others with the information he has.
Okay. We move the camera back inside the house. The weather tapers off into just this pallid overhang. And our camera returns specifically to these few, peering over this haunt siphon. The camera is pulled back. You are now seeing what's just occurred moments prior with Torvin and Eli. The hiss comes to a resounding stop. The rain beats off of the ceiling above you. It's been raining since you've been here. Nothing different. But now, Eli, you clutch on to the small haunt siphon. And I'll pull this up again so that everyone can see what the haunt siphon looks like.
I want it as a water bottle.
Hard same.
It's like the size of like a vial.
I'm telling you, if someone can make a 3D file, I'll print it out for everyone, like a thing that goes over a water bottle.
I wish. It's right around, I would say, probably 2.5 to 3 inches long.
Yeah.
It's relatively slender. Think it's probably about the size of like a pinky finger with some iron fittings on the top and bottom.
Yeah, I had reached in to grab it when the hissing happened because I wanted to admire the craftsmanship of it because it was very intricately detailed.
Yes.
But obviously the hissing sound distracted me from that. But I'll still have it held in my fingers, and I'll like, did you hear that? That wasn't just me, was it?
Nay. What is that?
I've never seen anything like it, but it doesn't look normal. That's for sure.
The remaining 3 haunt siphons remain sitting in the velvet-lined indentation of the spirit board box. The planchette is missing. There are 2 additional indentations showing that 2 of them are gone.
I can't believe we missed this before.
Well, they kept it closed for a reason, but we've reached a point of no return there.
Maybe I should put this back where I found it until we figure out more about it.
Aye.
Misty, where you are right now with Peverin, moments after the hiss had come to a close, his eyes fell back closed and his body went limp again in the bed. But you know that was loud enough that others had heard this too, and no more than 20 or 30 feet away are some of your comrades. Do you see to them, or do you remain here with Peverin? You can hear them speaking in the other room. It's not very clear, but you can hear them.
I would probably is there a way to like stand up and get like kind of where I can see him but listen to them and maybe see them through the doorway?
Near enough that if you could take a few steps where he is in comparison to the rest of the room. There's a door, there's like a 5-foot hallway, and then it opens up to another door which reveals that area. So you would be within like a 5-foot step.
But I can't see them and see him at the same time.
Not unless you can leave an eyeball in this room. What's on character sheet for spell?
Also, Peverin like sat up, right?
He did.
He did, yeah. And then he went back down, right?
Yes.
Sat up. Shoot. I will go to the door. What just happened?
We found something that we missed before. That seems important.
Would you maybe come over have a look? You may have some idea.
So Pevrin just, when it happened, sat up in bed, and now he's lying back down again. I don't know if I should leave him.
Why don't we take him in there and show?
Yeah, we'll take the box over.
Okay. You grab the velvet lined box. Do you leave the spirit
back in?
Yeah, do you leave the spirit board here as well, or do you just take the whole container?
I'll take the whole
Let's just get the whole lot.
Okay. All right, seems good. You move to the room with Misty here. Not Misty, excuse me. The Temerity's character. Temerity, describe yourself? Describe your composition here. Are you standing? Are you alert? What does this look like?
So I would say I'm standing. If I hear them approaching the room, I'll kind of walk back out of the doorway and closer to Pevrin, standing by his bedside, kind of giving equal time to the door and to the boy on the bed.
Okay.
See if any kind of state change happens with him.
Sure. You never really sort of like remove your eyes from them. You just move to a place where you can catch them in your periph, and they enter into the room. Who is carrying the box?
I'll carry it.
Okay.
Since
with the bigger boy.
Pulled it out as well, and yeah.
Sure. Are you? Do you wish to place this on the bed, or do you immediately approach her with this?
I'll just hold it in my hands and just kind of open it up and show them laid out.
Sure.
In there. And I've never seen anything like these before. They have very intricate craftsmanship, and I'm not even sure how they'd be made.
Would I know what they are?
Let's see. Give me, if you could, please, a knowledge religion. I'll give you a bonus. That's really good. That's really good. You may have an idea about what these are. You may have never put one into practice, but haunt siphons are a method that was devised within the Phrasman Church to deal with lingering spirits that seem to not quite get the picture. They don't want to move on, or they become malign. They wish to do generally sort of terrible things. Haunts, in and of themselves, are sort of like a spirit, but they are bound to an action. And that's what these were originally devised for, but you have found that they can work on just about any sort of spirit whatsoever. But essentially, it is like a Ghostbuster box.
Mm-hmm.
It will siphon a spirit from an area. And what it does essentially is it deals negative damage, and will pull them into this. If it is capable of doing so, and does enough damage, it will remove them from the area temporarily.
And do you see them? Because I see the swirl in there. Do you see them? Is there a state change inside the vial if there's a haunt in, someone in the vial? As far as you can tell, from what you've gleaned from this, these do not look used, and you can see the swirling, almost cloud-like fluid internal, but you don't know if it changes. Okay. So I'll take a peek into the box.
Mm-hmm.
Those are meant to catch, I guess, not necessarily undead, but spirits, ghosts, beings. And I just look back at Pevrin. I don't know if there's anyone in there or thing, but we should be careful.
There's two missing as well.
There's two missing? I'll take a step towards and look in the box. Take a closer look in the box.
Sure enough, you can see that there are two indentations where there were once two more, but they are not there.
Can I put my hand in the box and kind of feel around to see if there's any, is there something I can peel up? Because I figure if they're kind of indented, right? So there might be a bottom. You could peel them up.
I know I had peeled away a layer of paper to find them originally.
Okay, so
you begin to you begin to feel
bottom.
around, and there's not really much. It was definitely designed to house these. There is enough of a gap in the top of the box so that the planchette and spirit board can rest. But you can tell that this is obviously someone else's before. You don't know if this is something that the professor had or if he took this from someone else. What you know is it's yours now.
I was thinking the professor might have taken 2 of them with him to the prison originally, and maybe left these behind. But they, knowing what they do now, could be very helpful for dealing with some of our problems.
And that's where the planchette and the spirit board were.
That's right.
And then in it are containers that hold spirits. So that, yeah. Professor, what were you doing?
Seems like he had some spirits he wanted to remove.
I almost wish we could talk to that ghost that was in Pevrin to see
Me
too. Was he a part of this? Was he one of the missing was he in that vial? Where did
You know that you can. If you're aware of what a spirit siphon can do, what a haunt siphon is capable of, you know.
Phone in a ghost?
More or less, yes. You bear in mind, you have to know that you don't, specifically, Temerity, you know that ghosts don't always answer honestly.
We also know we could summon someone from the dead with the Ouija board and the planchette thing.
right?
Yes.
To talk to
Out of
him.
character.
Could he be filling? The professor was doing something with that, either filling them or talking to them or trying to find out some information. That's all I can think. Why else would he do that? Have that?
I don't know, but the next time whatever that thing is enters the boy, I've got half a mind to siphon him into one of these.
Phrasing.
I mean, it could be a way to keep him honest if he doesn't want to enter one, but
I have one other concern. If this spirit is left from the boy, who fills the boy next?
Maybe the problem isn't getting whatever is out of him then, but keeping things from getting in the first place.
Aye, this may be a way to safeguard the lad. The devil you know, so to say.
so it sounds like you're saying we want Trip back?
Want is not the word I'd use.
Fair. That perhaps it might be advisable for the short term if Trip re-entered the boy from a spiritual sense.
If and when Trip returns, we at least know that the boy is safer than other potential. That's all.
I assume it's a one-time use per entity and not multiple.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know if once a spirit releases, if you couldn't use it again. I don't necessarily think that's true, but I couldn't tell you for sure. I don't have a whole lot of experience with these, but they are familiar to me.
If it's going to not have multiple uses, then perhaps we should be very conservative with what we do use them on, because there could be more malicious spirits about than the one possessing the boy. However, I do want to keep him safe.
So can I detect magic on Pevrin to see if Trip is in there or not? Which
Sure.
I am really, really terrified to do because I know already how this is going to end. Most likely. However, I think that's what I would do. So.
Well, I mean, You can
What do
always
you
use your
do?
luck rerolls if you think that it might happen. Roll nothing because nobody put any wild magic in today's session.
You also still have those ribbons just
Finally.
in case too.
You're
Best
right.
magic.
The
Yeah.
best
The only
magic
thing
is
I
true
do.
magic.
Yep. No wild magic today, guys. It looks
So
like
many
everybody just
people were
wanted you
like,
to succeed.
"What does Oz do?" And I was like, "Well, he does magic because he's a sorcerer. But every time I've casted, it's not gone well."
It's gone a little off the rails.
I'm not nearby, so you're fine to cast whatever you want.
Yep, it's true. No frothing this go around.
Oh, well, see, and that's why we don't have wild magic.
Yep, that's why. Temerity, it
The
seems
dice need
fine.
to tell a story.
It would
It's-
find a way.
As far as you are capable of seeing at this point, there is no aura there's no heavy aura, particularly on Peverin. There's like a latent passing of aura, as if he was utilized for this. I mean, this isn't your first time seeing this particular aura on him.
Well, Trip's not here, or at least here. No motion to Peverin. So, and I don't really know. I mean, do we have both the planchette and the spare board? I'm not sure how good of an idea it is, but we could. I don't know. I don't really know that this is a great. Can I detect? Can I cast detect undead on the? What are they called again? Hold on. No, I got it. Haunt.
On the
On
haunt
the
siphon?
haunt siphon?
Sure. Nothing as far as you can tell. They seem to be completely fine.
Okay. Well, I don't think he's in there either. So, I don't know. I don't know about using that spirit board. It just feels wrong. But if you're right that someone less savory could possess the boy, then we might want to figure out a way to contact Trip.
Not even possess, but Torvin seemed to be concerned that we were being hunted. So
I have to agree with that. I believe the same thing that Torvin saw when time stopped.
I'd like to turn that around and become the hunter if possible. And maybe these could help us with that, because I'm not sure how else to deal with spirits other than with a hammer, and that doesn't seem to be very helpful.
Well, I have ways of killing them, but if we have
Fair
information
enough.
we need, then we may not want to go that route, at least immediately. But they're not. I mean, I'm still not the best in terms of killing them. I wouldn't put all our eggs in that basket. Speaking of eggs, where is Oz?
And the camera pulls right there. It moves to our 5th this eve. This is
What
where
do
we...
eggs have to do with anything?
The chicken. I know it's a pet
Okay,
bird.
all right. Oh, okay.
I don't
that
know if
makes
it's a
more
girl
sense.
or a boy. That's,
It's a rooster.
she doesn't know. It's
Okay.
some
She
sort
can
of
tell you
farm
all
animal
kinds
that-
of...
I'm like,
She can tell you scripture for days, but when it comes to chickens and roosters, I mean, eggs and...
They both eggs come
sandwich.
from it in some way.
In some way, that's right. So, Rye. You're walking through the rain,
Running.
running through the rain even.
Jogging,
Is I was gonna say, is it a jog? Like, are you in like full on wind sprints? Or are you just...
No, I'm just doing a little jog. I just got some stuff off my chest.
Yeah.
Need a little break. Getting a little jog in.
How you feeling
Little
about it?
workout.
How is Rye feeling about that information being out in the open?
He doesn't know if he's made the right choice or not yet. He
Yeah.
feels like he did, but he's all right. He's just contemplating it. It's more open than he's been probably ever in a long time. He feels like the context is appropriate, but he feels like he didn't say enough to truly get him in trouble. So he feels at least comforted by his discretion. But yeah, he just needs to. He's kind of maybe not even thinking about that necessarily right now directly. He's just enjoying the run in the rain and the. This is his break. It's like his getaway.
Okay.
So he's just I'm just heading to the tavern, just in a jog, just thinking my thoughts.
Thinking your thoughts, minding your own at this point. It's not far to make it to the Laughing Demon. Zokar has been very forthcoming. He's even gone as far as apologized for some of the events that have transpired with his son. You know that going here, you will definitely be given food and drink at no cost, but that's not the reason for your arrival.
No. I'm gonna assume I'm there then.
Yeah. How did you want to like? Do you kick it in the door, or what does this look like?
No, I mean I get there and I come in and I how busy is it?
It's very, very like low service. There's very few people here at this point, and they're kind of maintaining their own. They're dipping to the rear corners of the tavern. Some are sitting at the bar, but enough so that they're not invading each other's spaces. If you were loud enough, you might draw attention, but Zokar
I'm gonna go
will
right up
afford
to
you your
Zokar.
privacy.
He's at the bar.
Yes, and he seems to be sort of like cleaning off a few of the plates, pushing them into their own containers.
I just walk up and I lean on the bar, kind of lean over to him, and I just say, your boy's okay.
Oh,
But I don't want to upset you, but we thought it best, that he might have been tied up in some of this weird happenings around here. So I came down here to let you know if you want to come up to the I keep wanting to say the Kendra estate. What's the estate? Loramore estate. And I just kind of look at him and just kind of, nodding. I'm letting him know what's going on. I'm not trying to freak him out. I'm just saying, his son's safe, and if he wants to come with me to come check him out, seems like he might be caught up in some of this craziness. That's all.
What do you mean? What seems to be wrong? Hey, what's he caught up in?
I lean in closer. I get a little quieter. It's much to let him know that what I'm saying has some discretion to it than I'm necessarily trying to keep it from everybody. And I just say, I'm sure you're aware of some of the comings and goings around here, being the tavern owner. Maybe you've heard some strange things, especially lately.
I have seen some more bizarre things that's been happening lately.
And he kind of notices the other patron that's just 3 or 4 seats down who's started his slow eating, and he's watching the two of you. And Zokar's eyes kind of look down.
Hey, mind your own, or I'll scrimp on the wolf balls next time. Mind them.
And the guy goes down into his bowl, and he starts eating a bit more intently.
Yeah, there's weird things about happening.
Have you seen anything particularly strange with Pevrin lately? Maybe misbehaving, getting caught in places he shouldn't be, forgetting where he was, anything like that?
Is this about... Have you been talking to Benjen?
I have been talking to Benjen, but I've also been talking to quite a few other people in town. I know that
Pevrin's a good boy. I don't care what Benjen's been saying. Pevrin's a good boy.
Oh, I believe you. And I do think Pevrin's a good kid, even though he took my knife. I think that's why I like him. But I tell him, your boy's safe, but I think that he might be tied up in some of these strange occurrences. So we wanted to be transparent with you and let you know. He may have been, well, maybe this isn't the best place to talk about it. And I kind of look back over at that one guy that's was kind of eyeing us earlier.
You can tell that he's going out of his way to chew more vigorously. He's so as to not hear what's going on. Just, he doesn't want to hear it, but he also doesn't want to move.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I can and find my way to Kendra's a bit later.
I nod at him. And, okay. It sounds good. I'll talk to you soon then.
I'm not expecting much more in the way of business, so I'll bring by food. Imagine that you probably worked up a bit of an appetite, and I hate to let it all go to waste. It's not the Elkarid way.
Not to overdo the hospitality, but we do have a dwarf. You may need to bring a little extra.
He has his first noticeable smile since this conversation has kind of occurred.
I'll pack some steaks and whatever else I can find, and that might be going bad. Something on the shelf.
And gives you kind of like a wink.
I nod back. It would be much appreciated. Thank you. I'm going to head back.
He nods.
I leave.
As you're like walking out the door, he's like,
I said mind your own, Frank.
and you hear like a slap on the bar.
Fucking Frank, man. I'm about to kick Frank's ass. All right. So that's all. I just want to let him know and be transparent with him. You know, if it was my kid, I would want to know.
Sure.
So, yeah, I just start jogging back.
You've made good time. It was a short message, admittedly. But as you're kind of on your way back, you can see Oz moving through the rain. I'm not sure if you can recall immediately where Oz had gone to, but if it's coming from that direction, probably back at the memorial as far as you can recall.
I think Rye suggested.
Oh,
we
okay.
Investigate that. So I think that he would know.
Well, there's Oz. Oz is coming back, just absolutely drenched. There's been no overhead cover for Oz at this point. How does Oz look? Is Oz like sort of shaken, excited, maybe scared? What does this look like?
Oz looks just like a waddling mess. He's like waddling in the mud. His whole belly is just full of mud because he was like crawling on the ground trying to be sneaky earlier.
Yeah.
So he's just like full of mud. He has the bucket, but it's like upside down over the top of Pecker, like to like give Pecker like cover from the rain. He's more concerned about Pecker is
Gotta
what you're
keep
getting.
your
It's like
dry.
a
So
Pecker
Pecker
cover.
looks
Yeah.
dry AF.
Yeah.
But Oz is just drenched, and he's also like holding on for dear life to this wizard hat that he has on his head.
Okay.
And that's what he looks like.
Okay.
I walk up to Oz when I see Oz. It's a friendly face, if completely drenched. And I just kind of walk up and say, "Well, you look a little worse for wear."
A little rain never hurt no one.
I agree.
Hell, other than poor Pecker. Doesn't like the rain. Messes
Did
with
you-
the feathers.
Did you find anything?
More like something found me.
At this point, you're standing in front of the Lorimore house.
Okay.
Oz looks at the Lorimore house and then whispers to Rye.
Well,
And I'm gonna stage whisper so you can actually hear me.
well, I heard someone crying, but there ain't no one there. And so I know y'all told me not to use the planchette, but it's the only way I could see. So I looked over there and I saw her. She was kind of pretty for like one of those ghost-like peoples. I think it's the warden's wife.
Oh man. How does Rye feel about this? That you're fucking around with magical shit we said not to fuck around with. But I did say to go investigate. Fuck. I just look back at Oz and I say, what exactly did you do? What exactly did you see?
So I saw some footprints on the ground, and I was following them. And while I was trying to follow them, I heard someone crying, and I looked around, but I didn't see nobody. So I tried to sneak my way over to him, but there weren't nobody there. And then I felt inside my bones, you know, when you get a feeling like you just need to do it. Well, I picked out that planchet and I gave her a look, and that's how I saw her.
And what did she say?
Well, first she was just crying and touching the statue all tenderly, like she was in love with it or something. I mean, I think it was her husband. She was sad. She wanted to see him again, I think. But she couldn't, obviously. I asked her about him, but she didn't really want to talk about it, so I asked her if maybe she might have more information about fire, what happened that night. She said she did. Well, she told me that she wasn't supposed to be there. She was there real late. She was looking for him, you know, the warden. But when she got there weren't any guards around. It appeared that a lift had fallen into the ward below, and the prisoners were holding him hostage. But then, some kind of creepy, dark voice thing came and told her, you know, not supposed to say anymore, and so she just disappeared. And, well, then I just almost pooped my pants, so I decided I should just get going.
Rye is hearing all this, and he's remembering his vision of the prison burning, or at least the smell, when he was, you know, at least in some ways present there. He takes a big breath, like a big deep breath, and then he looks over at Oz and says, you got to be careful with some of those items you got there. I'm glad it worked out this time, but who knows what darkness they can fuel.
So you're not mad at me? I was a little worried y'all might be mad.
I'm not sure that anger is the best way to handle you. And I give Oz a little bit of a smile.
Oz is a little confused by that, but just smiles back.
Do you guys make the decision to move into the Lormore estate?
Yeah, I was
or-
just about to say, yeah. Perhaps
I
we should,
assume so. I think Oz just didn't want to say that inside of the Lormore
Sure.
house.
Perhaps mums on this one as well, until we can create a little distance from the home.
All right. It's so cool. I never had a secret word, and now I've gotten to use it twice.
Well, you've gotten to use it once. Let's not use it twice.
And with the
All
swinging
right.
of the door, you enter the Lormore residence. The three of you in the rear of the house, standing near Peverin, you can hear the door swing open and the sound of the rain grow heavy and then dull again as it drops down to just external sound. Heavy footfall marks the return of Rye. And then you can hear Oz's voice. Do you guys come together? Do you just kind of stay separate? How does this look for?
I walk in, and I mean, I'm drenched. I assume Oz is
will
too.
walk closely to Rye.
Okay.
He thinks
I'm
that
pretty
Rye's his
much
best
watching the
friend
boy at
this
this
point.
stage.
All right, seems good.
I'll head into the living or the study area, or the area with the fire, and I'll throw a couple of logs on the fire
Okay,
to warm it up so everybody can get dry.
seems
Oz
good.
puts down Pecker and then takes the bucket and like shakes it around and lets Pecker to run about. Pecker's just running around that. Probably
Okay.
runs over to the fire, my guess is.
Seems
Not close
good.
enough for you to put him in it.
Any towels nearby? Is Kendra nearby? Can I ask Kendra for a towel? Just say a towel.
You will find something in the way of linen, but this is the first that anyone has asked, and Kendra is not around.
Oh, I mean, I inquire for a towel, and I'm looking around for Kendra because she's usually the first person to be like, I'll get it, you know.
Sure.
But as I look around, I'm noticing that, hey, she's not there. Where did Kendra go?
Silence.
She pointed us to the study, and I haven't seen her since we started studying. And we made some interesting finds.
Well,
Right. Did she leave?
We were honestly very distracted by other things that we found, and some odd hissing sounds.
You heard that too? You heard that
Yeah.
too?
How did you hear that? You weren't even here.
I don't know. I was out by the monument and I heard some noises. And then
Did you hear
everything
them
got
too,
dark.
Rye?
I shake my head. I say that, you know, I went to go tell Zokar about Peverin.
Well,
I didn't hear anything, is what I tell him.
she's mostly been keeping to
Can I
herself
insight
and
check
staying
that?
here.
Of course you can.
No, Oz wouldn't, I don't think. Oz is very insightful, though.
Oz knows that I didn't. I mean, I'm not lying. I didn't hear it. Right? Is that what's being said? Like, we're talking about like what you heard. You said you heard some noises by the statue, and then Eli's asking me if I heard those
Hissing,
noises.
The hissing.
Not
noise.
the. It was the.
Oh, the
Wild.
hissing.
The
Oh, the
drawn breath.
hissing. Oh, okay, my bad. Did I hear the hissing?
Yes, you did.
We all
Like,
did.
out of character.
We all did.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
all
then I
heard
have
the
no
hissing and we
reason to
all
lie. Yeah, no,
thought
that's fine.
It get darker. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll say that I heard the hissing then. Sorry, I thought we were talking. I thought Oz was already like getting into the fact that she heard that she saw the ghost. And I was like, or he saw the ghost. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, didn't we just talk about not talking about that? So I was a little confused. So no, I tell everyone that, yeah, I heard the hissing too.
That seems very peculiar that we would all hear the same sound and being in different places.
Really? Is it really that peculiar?
It's never fucking happened to me before.
Well, I don't think I've ever been able to see dead people before, but now I'm seeing dead people.
At that, I kind of look at Oz like,
Well, we all.
I know. I'm the one messing up right now. I'm being a little too sensitive about it.
That makes sense.
Can I come out of the back room right then?
Of course you
When
can.
he says that.
Yeah.
So
Oz whispers that though when he says
okay,
that.
all right. Well, I'll come out.
You could probably hear it. I don't know what your perception is.
The only sound in the house is the crackle of fire that Eli is starting to bring back to life.
And then dead people.
Yep.
Wait. Oz, did you say dead people? Are there more dead people?
You know, the people that we've been seeing.
Oz
Oh,
is trying to be quiet.
got it. Have you seen Trip again? Because we're quasi looking for him.
No, isn't he with you? With inside of Peverin or something?
No, he's not there right now. Peverin's asleep, but he wasn't for at least a moment when we all heard the same noise, breath.
Should
Thing.
we look for Kendra?
Kendra?
Yeah, Rye's already kind of looking around and not seeing Kendra anywhere. I'm just gonna start like exploring the house looking for Kendra. Before I do that though, I just tell the group that that I talked to Zokar and that he should be coming up after he finishes up at work. But I'm kind of like looking around as I say it, like I'm just kind of updating him, but I'm like, all right, I gotta find out what this Kendra.
Yeah,
Kendra's at.
when you mention that Kendra's not here, I'm probably gonna start looking like whichever way he goes, I'll go the other way. Like if he goes up, I'll go down, like look in other rooms on the first floor.
Oz is gonna go to Kendra's room.
Mm.
And put his ear up on the door.
The door is
Familiar.
cracked open.
Oh. Oz is gonna push the door open a little.
You peek in,
Take a
and
little peeksies.
Kendra appears to be asleep on the bed.
Mm.
So she's for sure asleep? Not. She just appears to be asleep, or is she like asleep, or is she dead? Like.
She appears to be asleep on the bed.
Oh god.
I walk up
She
behind
told us not to
Oz.
go in there, right? At one point earlier in the, I think.
She said she wanted her space. Then to respect that. Can I get a
I wasn't here for
perception?
that.
Can I get a perception from you, Oz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that. 13.
Okay. Oz, do you move into the room, or are you remaining just at the door, kind of like peeking in? You pulling a Peverin right now? You just peeking in?
I'm peeping. I'm doing a peeping Peverin. Peeping Peverin maneuver.
I do want to walk up behind Oz, like, because I see that Oz is probably just sitting there at the door, kind of staring in. I just kind of want to walk up and maybe not in a loud way, but not certainly in a quiet way. Be like, is she in there?
Oh, yeah. I think she's sleeping.
I take the door and I kind of push it open a little bit more and kind of look through.
Give me perception, if you would, please,
Sure.
Ello. Let's see what Rye can see as well.
Yeah.
This is some easier things here. Okay, even or odd in Rye's favor.
What did I roll?
A 15.
15. I'm gonna go odd. Mother.
You can always have me reroll.
Yeah. I'll use one of my rerolls.
Sure, even or odd.
Odd.
Okay,
Oh.
You got it. You look in and you see Kendra sort of just laying across her bed, almost as if exhaustion has taken over her. She wasn't expecting to entertain 4 to 5 adults over X number of days. She was just expecting to bury her father and move on with the estate, so it's become quite a lot for her. You don't really think a lot of it, but you do catch something that doesn't immediately grab Oz's eyes. There's a small dot trail that leads to the corner of Kendra's bed.
I am already super suspicious of this room, and Rye wants to investigate this room and has wanted to since Oz revealed like what the crazy shit that went in there. And this seems like a great excuse. So I'm going to kind of push my way in and kind of just look at the trail. But before I do that, I'm like, once I'm in, I want to get a good look at the room.
Okay.
Like, I have not had a good look at the room. I've been really curious about this room. I want to see if there's anything else before I start honing in on this. Because I pretty much feel like once I hone in on this, that like maybe it's gonna wake her up, or if I get closer, So I just want to take an inventory of the room before I continue.
Sure. You can see that there is a small cabinet on the wall that looks like it is like a flip-up cabinet that turns into a desk. There's a handful of bookcases that keep some tomes. Lots of family photos in this room. This was definitely the room of Petros. So as far as you can tell, she hasn't really made this much of her own. But staying
Gotcha.
here is something that is very, very akin to home for her.
Any like trinkets or anything that I would just recognize or maybe seem out of place? Anything like before I continue on with this?
The one thing that you would probably notice, it seems to be hanging from a coat rack nearest the bed, where it looks like there are some hats and things. Hanging from the coat rack is what looks to be like a small brass chain, and attached to the end of it is Professor Lorimer's pocket watch. He took it with him everywhere.
Interesting.
And where is that exactly?
It's about 2 or 3 feet from the head of the bed, It's tucked in the far corner. A furthest spot away from you.
All right.
Does Rye point out any of the things that he's seeing, like the little dots and stuff like that?
No, not yet. But I am going to now point out the dots on the ground.
What's
to
everybody
you.
else doing? Is you can hear the sound of the footfall up at this point, because where you're at in the study, in relativity to the rest of the house, they're up a floor, but they're about 8 or 9 feet behind you, closer to the front door. And you are told to stay away from that. But at this point, you've heard the door swing open. Oz still is there. There's light coming through, so you can see Oz standing in the doorway. And Rye's footfall is going further into that room.
At this
I
stage, I'm watching the boy still, so
Okay.
I can hear it, I guess, going on.
Sure.
I'm still with Torvin, so I'm gonna take notice of the noise, and I'm going to grab the box with all the haunt siphons, and I'm gonna be like, here you go. I'm gonna go see what they're doing.
Sure.
Hi, lad.
In case you need these, if he wakes up and something crazy happens. I'm gonna go check on them. So I'll head up towards the rest of them to make sure they're not up to any mischief.
Okay.
I'm gonna move up to Kendra in the bed, but before I do that, I'm going to try to sleight of hand the pendant, or what was it? The
pocket watch.
The pocket watch. Yes, I'm gonna actually try to sleight of hand that.
Oz, give me a perception, please. Temerity, what is Temerity doing as well? Are you kind of standing waiting, or did you move upward?
I was gonna if
Bad.
if the time has passed that I would have taken for me to like search the downstairs, then I will head upstairs.
I'm gonna re-roll this
Because
Go
I
for
was
it.
looking for her as well, but I just started on the wrong floor.
22.
Let's get a sleight of
Worth
hand here.
it.
Let's see what you can do.
Sure, yeah.
Little sneaky thief up here.
Not really, but I'm gonna try.
Sleight of hand.
You can try.
I can
Sleight
try.
of hand.
Where did my roll 20 go? Oh, there it is. There it is. Sorry about that.
When you have too many monitors.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
There can never be too many. What are you talking
Wow,
about?
that
Also
landed
true.
like right on the 11.
Give me a stealth, Rye, as you get closer and closer to the bed.
Sure. I'm gonna re-roll the stealth.
Okay, yeah, please.
Falls on his face.
Okay, much better.
That's significantly better. I'm gonna give her a chance to wake. Bear in mind, because she's sleeping, she does get a negative.
Wake up and murder us
Nope.
all.
Not gonna be enough.
Nah.
Not gonna be enough. She doesn't wake. You move carefully over to the side of the bed, just peering over as you near this coat rack. Do you just kind of reach up and pull this downward, or do you break the chain? What does this look like?
I want to continue my focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I want it to be very because I'm a big dude, right?
Yeah.
I've got Oz to my right. I would assume maybe the coat to my left. I'm hoping my body will block me, just literally just taking and then just boom, right? Just quiet with my left side as I'm still paying attention to Kendra.
Okay.
It's a sleight of hand trick that I picked up from a friend, and he said that I have a big body, so it would be good to learn, and I never really learned it, but I understand the
You get the concepts,
and I'm
the
trying
greater concepts, sure.
Yes.
Oz, he's not wrong. All of the aforementioned things are very true. He does a very broad body. He blocks most of this, but as his focus still kind of remains on Kendra, you can see the shift in his shoulder and his hand comes up. And he reaches for this standing coat rack where it looks like he kind of pulls something. There's a glint briefly as the brass chain reflects the light coming through the window, and then it disappears. You don't really see what it is that he's managed to remove, but you're almost certain that he's removed something from the coat rack.
Here's my big thing. Am I aware that Oz maybe saw that?
Likely.
Okay, I'm going to look over at Oz, and I'm hoping this is happening before Eli walks up. But I wink at Oz, and I just mouth the word mums.
Oh, Oz I rolled a 22. He saw the wink, the mums.
Give me.
Oz is all about. He's in a secret club. He's got a secret
right.
word. Now he's got another. Like, this is hype for Oz. This is like the most exciting thing for him.
Oh, damn it. Oh, man. Friends. The
now,
power of crime.
Yeah. Power of crime. Oz is now looking at the little dots. I think he winks back at you, and he's trying to observe what these little dots were that Rye pointed out to him as he was walking over the coat rack.
Oz does everything a little more peculiar than most, and I'm curious. Does when Oz winks, is it just like a just a quick thing, or is it like a, so is it so obvious?
I think it's kind of creepy because he's got like those big, weird, beady eyes. Like it's a little unsettling.
Moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eli, you've begun climbing the steps, and you're glancing over your shoulder to see what's going on. You hear the noise. Give me a perception. I'm just curious. It's gonna be difficult, admittedly, but while you can't see what's happening with Rye, you might see this very, very
Do I get a
odd.
bluff? Come
on. Let's say. You know what? I'm gonna say yeah. You can see this much. You don't like you can hear him coming up, but there's no way of knowing if he's paying attention to your very odd, bizarre wink with these strange, very strange eyes of yours. You just see something weird. It's a very weird exchange. You don't know what to make of it. You know that Oz is a peculiar figure, but you don't really know what to make of it.
Yeah.
Maggie,
I mean,
as Oz, you can see behind you at this point. Eli has reached the top of the steps.
Yeah, so Oz is basically like in the doorway outside still, Rye's in the room.
When I hear Eli and I see him, Oz kind of like puts his hand up and is like, he like points and he like puts his hand on his head, like, the sleeping motion. So hopefully you get that she's sleeping.
Yeah, he's very suspicious, but he'll walk up next to Oz and lean in and see that she's sleeping and that Rye's in there, and he'll just be like, what are you guys doing? She's still here. Like, he's not saying that, but like, what are you guys doing? If she's still here, why are we? But then he also remembers you guys shared that there was that weird thing in the room, so he's curious to that as well.
Sure.
Because he's worried about her safety. So, like, he's curious, but he's suspicious of the two. But he's just gonna stand there quietly and watch for a moment.
Yeah, it's like
and just because Rye's already in there, so he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Take his loud, clunky ass in there too.
You didn't watch them steal anything. So far, it doesn't look like they're committing a crime. So
exactly.
You're waiting.
As far as I know, they're just checking it out, checking out the. Making sure she's protected.
It out.
But now that you've managed to pocket this pocket watch, do you move back to the bedside? Do you see to Kendra, or do you move to these drops?
What do the drops look like Can you describe them again?
Give me a perception from where you're at. The room has changed for you, and I want to see if you can pick up new detail.
Damn you, Haunt Siphon, out of my way.
The room has changed for you. What's that?
His position in the room has changed.
Nice.
Oh, I was thinking it was an Escher
deeper.
painting.
Oh, okay.
From your position in the room, you get new details, things that you would have missed otherwise. Specifically, something is sticking out from under the side of the bed.
What does it look like?
It looks like it might be like a dust brush, but it's a little thin.
Like a duster brush?
Yeah.
Well, we know what the professor was into.
I get down very slowly, like Catherine Zeta-Jones in Entrapment.
Oh, okay.
Going
All right.
through the lasers.
Sure.
I get in a push-up position, and I lower myself. I know, I'm so glad that you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I lower myself down. Not like I'm not on the ground, but I'm like lowering myself down to look under the bed. And I look over at Oz before I do this, and I go, and I just get down. I start looking under
Oz
the
does
bed.
the wink again.
When you move your body downward, the brush pulls under the bed.
And it's a brush to me. It looks like
It
a
looks
brush.
like it is a brush. You hear a whoosh, and it pulls under the bed.
Nope.
Mm,
I don't like that.
I go back up.
So you don't continue to look. Like you're not quite fully down, but as you're basically in chest depression, getting ready, you're probably about this far from looking under the depth of the bed. That's when it whoosh, pulls back.
Yeah, I am going to go back up now, quietly as I can, and I'm going to look at Oz, and I'm going. I can't see Eli from here, can I?
Yeah, I would say yes.
I'm right there too.
I would say yes.
I
Okay.
was like, I'm like peeking in, so I'm watching.
I look at them and I just signal, let's back out. Like, let's back out.
Give me a.
Back it up. Back it up.
I want.
If I saw that, I'm going for it.
Give me. I
What are you
want.
going-
Flip that bed over with Kendra on it.
This-
I don't
okay.
give a shit.
This is. Give me willpower if you can, please.
Oh God. Huh. All right. Here we go.
Rise, got a 2.
I'm gonna re-roll that willpower.
Sure, okay, I
Are
got
you
you.
This
sure?
is my third one. God, I'm gonna re-roll it again. I only got one more re-roll after this.
Oh no, it's meant to be the 7.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm just taking it. Whatever. It's a 7.
Wow.
He was beginning to go into a lower, right? Like you've seen someone before sort of like push themselves up off of the ground or lower themselves for a reason. And particularly, I would say Oz, like you were raised very like militarily speaking. This was regular training, right? So you're witnessing him go down to what almost looks like a depression of like a
Oz
push-up.
knows it. He can't necessarily do it.
Sure. So you're used to this, but when he begins to come back up, his face doesn't read that of a man stoic in demeanor. He's visibly shaken. He doesn't say anything, but he's very visibly shaken, and he just goes,
Oz looks down. He like tilts his head to look down there.
do you move all the way down to the ground to get on that level? Because at this point, you guys are standing just inside of the doorway.
Sure. Oz was looking at the little dots while he was doing the other thing, but now that he's up, he will avert his attention to what's under the bed.
From the few steps that you've taken into the room, just inside, those little dots are no longer just these small black specks. It's droplets of blood.
Trickling towards
The corner of the bed, yes.
towards her.
I mean, she's on the bed.
Oz is uncomfortable.
And I'm watching
And-
Oz disregard my let's back out,
Yep.
and Oz is now
Oz
looking
is
under the
slowly beginning to lower to the
Yeah.
ground.
Oz is getting closer. Yeah, I think he's now now that he sees that it's blood, a little bit more concerned. He has a concerned look on his face, and now he wants to see what's under the bed. 100%.
Okay, what is Eli, Torvin, and Temerity doing? Is Torvin still remaining where he is, just kind of waiting, or?
I'm watching the boy. Someone
house-
has to actually. We keep moving on,
Torvin.
from this poor boy.
The house is deathly still. Nothing is occurring. You no longer hear footfall. You no longer hear the banter, the laughter. This is just the jovial nature that you as a crew carry with you. Now, a pin drop could fall, and the only thing that can be heard is the wind beating against the planks outside.
Well, this is very good tobacco, but I will get up and investigate with a raised eye.
Temerity.
I'll say that at this point I'm heading up the stairs and I'll see them at the door to Kendra's room and head on over
You glance
None the wiser.
from the top of the steps, and you can see Oz borderline laying prone.
Okay, when Oz is not regarding my like, hey, we need to get the fuck out, and I see that he's starting to get curious, I just react. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think it's good, and I'm going to attempt to actually just grab Kendra. I'm going to attempt to like grab her, and I'm going to make a point to muffle her, and I'm gonna grab her and try to get her out of the room. I mean, I want my idea is that she will not cast any fucking spells.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
so I am grappling her with my arms. All right, I'm covering her mouth and I am forcibly moving her out of the room about as fast as I can.
Okay, then
What do you need?
I need you to give me a CMB, a combat maneuver bonus.
Yeah. On a sleeping, frail woman.
Yes.
Sure, that sounds good.
It's basically a coup de grace. She doesn't get an opportunity to defend herself. She will be able to fight back in the moment she wakes up. But in this case, unless you roll like horribly, and I don't think that's going to be the case.
Like,
That's
Are
pretty
you
bad.
kidding me? One of sevens?
That's-
I'm okay.
Go play
I'm
a
re-rolling
song.
this.
Is this your
Do I need to
last
re-roll
round?
this? I'm gonna re-roll this one. Fuck it. I just want to make sure. Please don't. Wow. Oh my god.
Is that
Well-
your last reroll?
Yeah, that's my last re-roll. That's
I know.
life, man. But like,
it was a good run,
Oh,
mate.
wow.
yeah. Well, I guess I just fucking suck. So here we go.
You move, and it might be the fear of it, right? Like maybe it's just like the unsure. In this moment, you get that sense of Nadal. Like it, you left
Yes,
it,
yes.
but Nadal has followed you. You never quite leave that shadow behind. In that moment, you lose kind of sight and track of yourself. You immediately try to wrap her up, but maybe it's fear that's taking you in this moment. You throw your arm under her, and she starts to jostle awake, and then she feels your arm grab up under her legs, and she immediately starts to fight back. I'm gonna give her a chance to fight against you here.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's not going to get a very good bonus. Doesn't need it when she just destroys the roll. She immediately, she throws an arm up and catches you, with her elbow in the face.
Yeah.
And it probably shocks you. At this point, she starts to basically emote this noise just erupts from her. It's fear. She doesn't know what's happening. She's in her father's bed. Her father just died. You guys are all strangers to her. And now she feels your hands go up around her. She has no idea. So she just starts to scream out in terror. That is the first noise that has been heard in the house the entire time. Kendra cries. She screams out.
Yeah, I do everything I can
almost
just to get
as-
her out of that room.
as-
I'm literally trying to drag her out of that room at that point.
What's Oz doing?
As Oz is seeing Rye grab Kendra, and it seems like more of a anxious thing, I think he's gonna cast color spray underneath the bed.
Sure. As your eyes, this is what I'm going to want from you here. As your eyes move upward to see him grabbing her and that scream, it sort of shakes you similarly. And when you glance back down under the bed, you can see a face with a withered, blackened finger, and it just goes.
Yeah, color spraying all over that face.
Color spraying all over that.
Okay. You immediately cast a spell. Color spray. A vivid cone of clashing colors springs forth from your hand, causing creatures to become stunned, perhaps also blinded, and possibly knocking them unconscious. Bear in mind, this is a conal pattern.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Yes. I need a
And
will.
Kendra.
But can't I point it in a way that doesn't hit him?
It's
in the room?
it's a 15-foot cone. So if you're gonna hit the bed, because the room it's not an exceptionally large room.
Mm-hmm.
You will end up hitting.
So if it's like a room like this,
I'll-
and they're here, I could go
You could. I think
here,
you could
point
feasibly
that way,
angle
you
it,
know what I
but
mean?
it
it
is-
would be the whole entire part of that other half of the room.
it is a cone-shaped burst. You're at least gonna hit Kendra because she's technically centered right above this.
It's fine.
It just stuns her, right?
It It can do a few things. It can do a few things to her.
Yeah, what was it again?
It can knock them unconscious, blind, or stun them.
Or all of the above.
Yeah. I
For
think,
2d4 rounds.
sure, that's fine.
Okay, I will give her a will save. This is kind of a 50-50 for her, actually. Damn it! Oh God, I'm not gonna reroll that. Okay, all right, she has failed. Each of the creatures within the cone is affected according to their hit dice. Okay.
Can I give her one of my rerolls?
No, you can't. You can't,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right.
So, roll 2d4 for me, please.
Dude, if she goes unconscious, Rye's gonna be like, God damn, Oz is the best co-pilot.
Oh my God, 6.
God damn it. She is, let's see. She is stunned for 2d4 rounds. So 6. Roll a d4. Then blinded and stunned for 2 more rounds. And she is 3 or 4 hit dice. She is not.
any more
She is not
potions,
unconscious.
dude?
She is not unconscious. But she is stunned. Congratulations. You managed to neuter her ability. Just she just kind of falls
I need to
limp.
be quiet. I
As
guess.
soon as she goes limp, I am grabbing her and I'm taking her out of the room. And as I go by Oz, I give Oz a wink and a smile. That's what I'm hoping to do.
I made her be quiet.
Oz, I need a will save from you, please.
So bad.
It's terrible.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
Oz is not the best bean, you know. 19.
You're good. You managed to, like, that fear can hit you as well, and you were almost frightened, but you pulled it back together. You've seen many horrors in your time, and this is one that you can manage to muster. So as that noise sort of breaks this room with this cacophony, you see that face as it and pulls back under the bed. He grabs her and whisks her out of the room. Eli, you didn't see the face.
I want.
Wait, does it not
there's
do
lots
anything to the thing that I was pointing at under the bed?
You don't know what you just saw.
I saw something I want to color spray all over.
That sounds dirty.
I wish I was in that cone.
Hell,
with,
I think I watched that movie.
If Kendra's off the bed with Rye and they're on their way off the bed, Eli would just step right in grab his hammer in one hand and grab the corner of the bed and just try to sling the bed aside to just reveal whatever's underneath it.
Okay.
With his other arm.
Sure. All right.
Because he obviously thinks there's danger going on and something's not right. So.
Sure. You charge in. Moments after this color spray sort of erupts under the bed in the room, you see this vibrance and array of colors, like a rainbow, literally bursts from Oz's hands. And Kendra falls limp after that scream. He's danced past you, holding her as much as he possibly can. Temerity, you move forward. Torvin, you're looking upwards here, and you can see there is something that is happening above. Temerity, you immediately see that Rye has run out of the room. He's clutching onto her body, and she seems to be stunned. She's trying to say things, but it's not coming out very clearly. And then the first thing you hear her say after probably 20 or so seconds is, I can't see. But you flip the bed. You grab it, and you begin to flip the bed. I need a strength check from you.
Thick boy.
Very good. You manage to grab by the leg of the bed, and as you begin to flip this to move it over, there's nothing that waits you except what appears to be a tail. What was once as seen as the tip of a duster, it's the length of a hound's tail. The blood has pooled up right from its base.
There was a face there. It was creepy and it was telling me.
He's putting his hands up against his lips, like in the shushing motion.
Oz, you look over to see this blood, but your eyes are immediately pulled and caught to the rear side of the bed. There's a letter, a bloody letter that dons the underside of the bed. Written in blood, the letter E.
What is that?
And Oz points at the bloody D. Well, that's another letter that we've seen.
So what do we got now? Like letter-wise?
B-E.
Yeah, V, the letter V, not
Gotcha.
B. V as in very, very.
V as in Barry. Got it.
No, very. Okay. Oh shit.
V is in Victor.
Viral.
Viral.
V is in viral, as in Victor.
V as in dairy.
Okay.
So V and E. All right. Well, while Kendra is like waking up, Rye's going to be doing what he can to like comfort her. Like, we thought we thought you were in danger. Like, we're sorry. We're like we just, kind of just trying to calm her down, let her know, like, that she's not permanently blind. Maybe, I don't know.
15 or so seconds pass by as you're trying to calm her. Give me a diplomacy here.
Sure.
Would
I don't
Oz
think I'm
know
really
what
good
this thing was?
Ooh,
He saw the face of whatever it was.
What are you talking about? The face that you saw or the tail?
Either.
Well, you can recognize that it is a tail of some sort. There is no, there's no foot attached to the bottom of it, and it's just thin enough.
Is there usually a foot attached to a tail?
Like a leg. It could have been a leg, but no. As far as you can tell, it looks like a tail. Your best guess.
What about the face thing that I saw?
That was without a doubt a face.
Okay.
You can tell it was a face by the way that it was.
Okay.
I know, right? I'm giving all the details tonight.
Super helpful. 13 Diplo.
It's hard to say whose face it might be. It might be someone that you hadn't met yet. Likely a ghost is your best guess, but you have no idea who that is.
So it's like a human-y face. Okay.
The hand wasn't. You were certain that hand was not. Blackened and gnarled.
Like burnt.
Yes.
Okay.
With a diplomacy of 13. She's not immediately swayed until she begins to see again. She's very concerned, confused even. She has no idea what to say or think. And she's asking what's happened? What's happened? Why can't I see? What's happened?
Something strange is going on in your room, under your bed. Blood. Maybe some sort of ritual. We didn't have a lot of time, so I tried to get you as far away from it as possible. I'm sorry if I was rough. And with that, I kind of wink. Like, it's really inappropriate to wink, but I do.
She can't see it.
Oh, well, that's fine. I don't know that.
Temerity sees it, however.
Blind. She said she can't see.
I'll roll my eyes.
Oh, that's right. She did say she was blind.
Right.
Whatever. I'm dumb.
that.
I'm a caveman. Fuck it. Like, I still wink.
It's fine.
I still flirt. I don't care if she can see me flirt or not. It's not for her. It's for me.
I'll roll my eyes.
You do you. That's what I say.
Right. And look at Rye. Down, boy. What's going on? What? Is she okay?
After a few moments, her vision comes back, and she blinks very intensely, so rubbing her face before looking around, and she's noticeably disturbed, upset even, before she sees the blood. And it sort of fades. That anger washes away from her. She still kind of like pulls herself very tightly. You know, she's not wearing what you would say is like a waistcoat for her to cover herself up, but she's concerned. I shut my door before I came to bed. And I locked my door.
Was it locked when you came up here, Oz?
Oh, we can all hear this now? I thought they were in a different room.
No, at this point, everybody, you guys are all within like 10 feet of each other.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was like, no, it was cracked open a bit, and I was just looking for you, and I peeked in and I saw you sleeping, but then there was something under your bed.
They were looking for a towel, I thought, for a moment. Can I, so there's a blood pool and a tail sticking out of the blood pool, like kind of in it, basically? Is that?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, there's a tail in the...
I'd like to stoop down and pull my dagger out of my backpack and kind of like...
Stab it?
Run it through the blood and feel like for consistency and like push the tail a little bit? Kind of like poke at it a little bit?
Sure, it's...
You poking things, bro?
Trying to.
I like
know
it.
What it is.
Pull out a stick, yeah.
Yeah, give it a poke. I got a dagger.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna investigate the door, like the lock on the door. See if there maybe is some reasonable explanation, at least.
You got it.
Or if there's some sort of forced entry or something.
Give me a perception from Rye and a knowledge nature from Eli.
Yeah.
Very good. Eli, this is a wolf's tail.
Right?
7s and 8s, everybody. Is there some poker game I can play with those numbers that like I should be participating in?
You have no doubt that this is a wolf's tail. Traders.
What the hell is a wolf tail doing here? In blood.
When you peer down the door, it seems to be legitimate. Everything looks fine. Nothing looks out of the ordinary. The locking mechanism seems to be functioning just fine. There's no hang up or hitch.
While Eli is asking that question, I move into the room and I start looking at the windows or see if there's any other way of entry.
The windows actually do not open.
Oh, okay.
Solid pane.
I look over at Eli when he's saying that, when he's inquiring about the blood.
Is it fresh? Is it fresh blood, or is it dried, or how long? Can I tell how long it's been there for?
It's fresh. The blood's still warm.
Does Rye recognize the tail as the tail of maybe a dog he knows from his past?
No. However,
no. Okay.
However, Oz might.
Oh.
Oz, it wasn't but a day ago that you saw a black wolf in town.
Interesting.
Through the glass, right?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was thinking about looking at with the planchette. Oz is twiddling the planchette in his hand, in his pocket. And it's pretty obvious. Unless you think he's doing something else, but yeah, that's what's happening.
I don't know what's going on here, but the only
Oz is so suggestive, dude.
The only tool at our disposal is that damned planchette. So maybe we should side our worries for it and see if there's anything else we can discover from it.
I was waiting for you to say that because I was thinking there might be something else to see here.
I don't see any other way for us to get information.
Also, I did see a wolf-like creature the other day, you remember? In the window through the planchette.
Why can we see this now, and why is it here, and why is there warm, fresh blood?
Well, I think thinking there's some kind of something opening up and things that aren't supposed to be coming through are coming through. Remember what Professor Ale said? He said we gotta be quick.
Perceptions, please, everyone.
Okay. 15.
I
I'm
see
rolling low today. I
everything.
got a +7 to this, and I'm rolling low.
Temerity, you are the only person that hears this.
Oh, creepy.
From deeper within the house, from behind you and down the stairs, you hear a child's voice. It's not Peverin. You're used to Peverin's voice at this point. You've heard him speak multiple times, plus when Trip is around, it's dual layered. This is different in the sense that you can hear what sounds like a little girl's voice. But then as you kind of hone in on it and you focus, two little girls. Sounds like speaking first. But then they begin to sing. You can hear the tune. Do you abscond from this destination? Do you tell the others what you're hearing? Because they clearly can't hear this.
Okay, I'm out. I would turn around and start heading that way and mention I hear something, but I wouldn't stop to explain. I have to assume I've heard like ethereal things before given my profession, and can I at least identify that it's probably not actual, especially since you said everyone else can hear it. It's not actual children. It's probably some sort of not of this worldly group of things.
Do you move closer?
Yes.
When you move closer, it sounds damned if it doesn't sound like two little girls singing a song. This doesn't sound like some abomination or monster. It sounds like two children singing a song.
Well, as much as I do want to burn the entire house down, I will go towards the two little girls and, or at least the sound of where they are. But given the events of the night, I will probably... Yeah, no, I'm just going to go towards them.
Okay. Everybody is focusing at this point to try to figure out exactly what's happened, and Temerity slowly kind of steps back before turning and descending the steps. Torvin, your best guess is she's probably moving to see what's happening with Peverin. Every time anyone has sort of moved away, Peverin's gone missing, so...
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to keep close to Peverin this time.
Yes. How did you come up the stairs entirely, or are you at like the base of the steps?
No, I'm keeping an eye on Peverin.
Okay, then you would hear this. You would also hear this noise. This is much clearer for you.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Yes. Would you turn back to the room?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Temerity, it takes you a moment to descend the steps before you move into the room. Wyld, as Torvin turns, Peverin is sitting in the bed, legs crossed, back hunched over, and he seems to be looking to the left and to the right. And there are two mist-formed children on either side of the bed, and they seem to be moving their hands in this almost double Dutch style, like they're jumping rope. And they're singing a song.
Put her body on the bed, take a knife and lop her head. Watch the blood come out the pipe, feeds the sturges nice and ripe. Drops of red so sparkly bright, splatter spells their name just right. With a hammer killed his wife, now he wants to claim your life. Tricksy father tells a lie. Listen close or you will die.
See, some places they have something like a shining,
So is this
something that makes them stick out.
Oh my god. Is this I'm out.
Makes them
Is-
special.
Is this a oh god. Is this like a popular nursery rhyme that I would know? Like, is it indicative of like the time? Do kids usually sing this when skipping rope?
You don't know. Might be a local thing.
Honestly, all of the kids' songs like
But
that are
it's
so
not something
weird.
we do
it's-
know.
They're
right.
all creepy.
They
and
are. I'm thinking it might not like it's in this realm of possibility.
What does Torvin do? Does Torvin like freak the fuck out, or like what does this look like?
So, between me and the boy, are the girls in front or like in between us
They're, like,
or
next to him.
behind?
They're
or-
next.
in
They're next
between.
to the bed, and interestingly enough, after they start singing, their hands fall like they're no longer doing the double dutch with the rope, and they touch the boy. They touch Peverin to force him to lay back down, and they tuck him in, pulling. You can visibly see the blanket shifting up the bed, and then they tuck the actual like the blanket on the sides of the bed so that he's in tight.
We have these things called siphons, right? Like,
Well,
They're in the room.
yeah,
I'm-
and you're in the room.
No,
But-
no, I was
but-
walking
No, no,
out over
yeah.
to there. So that they are in, the actual siphons are in a box in that room.
Right.
yeah, I'm saying this out of character. Rai has no idea what a siphon is or what it may do, and he is but Ellohime is like, we've got siphons. we got like
No,
I kinda-
Torvin's pretty much just stopping, waiting to see what he can actually fire an arrow at because he can't do anything here. This is all Magic Land stuff.
Yeah, that's
After-
how Rai feels.
After
I'm
the
debating
fourth,
on tasting the blood.
interesting. After the fourth line, Misty, I'll say that Temerity sort of like rounds the corner, and you see these children tucking him in as they finish their rhyme. Torvin is just sort of stuck, waiting, not really sure how to react.
Sorry, I'm just figuring out if I want to do something from a not that perspective, but from a is this something I've seen before?
This particular event, or something like this occurring in the
type of
past?
event, like yes, like if I saw them looking all ethereal, would I know what they were? Like if they're a certain type of undead, if they're like, are they undead? Are they ghosts? Are they what?
Give me a. Oh man, this is gonna be a very hard one. A knowledge religion. I'll give you a substantial bonus, or a circumstantial even, because of Phrasmin. But that's an even or an odd.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this is a hard one. This is a real fucking hard one.
Even
Okay.
How many rerolls do you still have?
5.
Oh,
That's an odd.
Right.
Reroll.
Even.
Okay. Some places of more strenuous or graven events, they harness echoes. And it doesn't necessarily mean that spirits are malign. Not all of them can be. Some of them can be, but in this case, doesn't necessarily mean that these are. This house has been here for a long time. You can see that it is dated, even for Petros in his age. So likelihood that this house belonged to another person or a group of people before Petros moved in. This seems to be an echo of this place. But that song, it's something that sticks with you, even if you missed the first few lines. Some of those just seem very odd. Floor's open to anyone.
yeah. So I'm in the room right now. Now, okay, you said the kids were on the bed. What
I don't
room is
think you
that
can.
in?
You weren't here. I don't think you can hear it.
Yeah,
Well, he didn't.
you
he
were
didn't roll.
That's what I'm trying to establish where I'm at and what I can.
you were upstairs.
We're upstairs by Kendra's room.
Correct.
Got you. And this is happening in a separate room.
Yes, this
Downstairs,
is
yeah.
where
Okay,
Pepper
sorry, I
is.
had to get up for a second. So.
Yep, no worries.
Oh
no worries.
But he also didn't roll to see if he heard it.
Sure, you can give us a shot here. Let's see. It's a perception.
Oh, okay, sure. I don't know what that was. That just went out, but...
No, you did not.
Okay.
You did not.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing about Rye is like he has like a gut instinct for this shit, and he knows that things are fucked up, but he is not educated in the ways of dealing with this shit. So he doesn't. It's all been subterfuge for him.
Yeah.
It's not something that he's dabbled into himself. So I'm gonna have to think about how Rye even reacts in this situation, because it's sort of outside of his scope.
Eli, Oz, Kendra, and Rye. Despite all the happenings, despite the screams, Temerity is no longer there. Torvin has not left the room with Pevrin. But this seems like it's very up the alley of Temerity, so something has certainly, without fail, drawn her attention away. Would you ask these questions? I mean, if I'm being honest, I think that Kendra would probably retreat downstairs. She would probably put on a kettle. She would probably start making tea.
Is it still raining?
Yes.
So,
I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna investigate the outside of the room. Like, just step out. See, I know that the windows are not able to be opened, but maybe if I check on the outside of the house, that maybe there's some. So I go to do that.
You want to wait until I take a look?
As he holds out the planchette.
yeah.
I look at Oz, and I kind of take my head and I'm like, no, I don't want to be here. Actually.
All right.
And maybe, I don't know. He feels at a loss right now. He feels really like his feet aren't on the ground. He doesn't know what's going on, but he's just going to push past and keep doing what he was going to do. But when I go out there, I do want to bury that locket.
Okay. Seems good.
The
Yeah.
watch.
The watch, or the pocket watch, excuse me. I keep thinking it's a locket. A pocket watch. Yeah. When I go out, I'm going under the pretense of observing the outside of the building to see if I can find anything, but I am going to take a moment to find a spot in the ground where I can just bury that shit real fast.
Okay, friend. Hello? You,
Yes.
as Rye, begin to move from the building. You want to investigate. You want to see what this is about.
Sure.
The moment that you step to the threshold of the home, the open doorway, as you've turned, like you've basically opened the door so you can take a step out, you lift your foot to exit, and something manifests before you. A figure you were familiar with, except this time, this figure's face is smashed, and he puts his hand out. It's Petros, to stop you. His hand lowers to yours where you're grabbing onto his pocket watch. And you just see the mottled and destroyed face just shake no.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to make a roll real quick. I'm just going to D20 it. That's terrifying, and I want to because that could be part of the Rye knows that this shit comes at you sideways, right? He doesn't know that the body of his, that could be a deception.
Could be, yeah, very well could be.
Is there any way that I could discern that? I guess not really. It's not like I could sense motive on a ghost face that's all bashed up or something.
You can probably, your best guess I mean, you understand what the implication is of what they're trying to suggest. It may be some sort of aberration or a mist form figure or even some sort of subterfuge or deception, but as far as you can tell, you know what it's suggesting.
Yeah.
Roll for gut reaction.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. If it's just, I'm just going to do 50-50. 1 to 10, 1 to 10, I'm going to stay inside. 11 to 20, and I'm just going to push past. What's the command for the
/R space 1d20. Nine.
All right. I am obviously quite startled by what just happened. I choose to believe that is Petrus or some sort of entity working on his behalf or whatever. And I just kind of step back and I pretend like I forgot something, and I go to my pack and I quietly, secretively put the pocket watch in my bag.
You got it.
But I leave it in the house. Mm-hmm. And then I continue to go outside to do what I say I was going to do, which is investigate the outside, but I doubt I'll find it.
Then I'm eager to know here. I've been seeing what's been going on. Things are sort of shifting and they're moving very rapidly. A lot is happening. What's going on in Eli's mind?
I want Oz to look through the planchette.
Do you say that?
Yep.
We already discussed it. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's the next
I told Oz that with the group there, and then they went kind of when they were like, well, have fun with that. They all kind of dispersed.
Yeah, they all basically left us, and then Oz even asked if Rye wanted to stick around, and Rye's like, hell no.
I'm still standing near the pool of blood in the tail, and I'm kind of waiting to see if there's anything through the planchette that can be discovered. Otherwise, I want to pack the tail up and try to clean the blood up, just to make sure there's no because somebody could have come in there and put the blood in there, and it could have made it possible to summon something in there. I don't know, but I just want to get that shit all out of there because it's where Kendra's been sleeping.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But I don't want to mess with it until we use the only tool that we have to kind of investigate with, because we're kind of out of options as far as how to gather more information.
Okay.
Well, we have a long list of things we still need to.
Yeah.
And it's only piling up.
But stuff just keeps happening.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to sit down and checklist things off one night.
Still have to talk with Dramunda. Still
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
This is like turning into Lost, or it's like, oh, there's a mystery here. Oh, but before that mystery, there's another mystery over here. Yep. And by the fourth mystery, you're like, what about the first mystery? Oh, that doesn't matter anymore. That was the first mystery. Now we're on mystery 7.
You have to you have to ask yourself, how much of this is a misdirection? How much of this is a red herring?
Yeah.
What are the big plays?
How much fire do we need to burn down this town?
I think we can muster up as much as it needs.
So I'm going to catch up some quick details here. If you want to make a roll on anything, I know that a lot of you guys want to do things. Particularly, I know that Eli wants to clean up this mess. You want to remove this the best that you can. I'm assuming that you take some of the remainders of the pot or kettle that's not mixed.
For me to check.
Correct.
Look at everything with the planchette.
Correct.
First.
You wanted to specifically move to the planchette. You have this, and you wanted to kind of peer through the room. Every time you use this planchette, it becomes more and more difficult every day. You take it upon yourself. You grab the planchette again. Familiarly speaking, you find a nest, a home for your fingers around this planchette. The brass fitting, it's almost fit for your hands. But the moment it rubs across the cheek, I need a will save.
Of course. 10. I think I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
Because that sounds like not a good roll. I have 2 left. Oh my god. Re-rolling again.
Welcome to my hell.
I think I have to stick with a 17.
I want you to re-roll it. I'm going to use one of my luck re-rolls.
But
Oh,
I'm gonna use another one of mine.
Wow.
That's good though. I like it.
Rude.
11. I'm gonna. You're gonna counter my reroll. I'm gonna use my last one. Doing it. I don't care. 19.
I want you to re-roll.
Ah! That's my last reroll, you guys. So
Can
whatever
I
the
donate
reroll
my
is,
rerolls?
You
this
cannot.
Is our roll. 8.
Tough. This close, if only. A tense snap as it reaches to your cheek. I need you to roll a d4.
Okay.
Yeah, we all just happen to have this background.
Yeah.
We didn't plan this. Just three of us just happened to have set this up.
I have
good.
it as well.
Oh.
But I don't have my green screen up. 1.
You're immediately stricken by this intense headache that hits you. It starts to permeate from the front of your face down to the temples and then into your eyes. And the series of images that are put before you are horrifying. But it's more than that. Your other senses are similarly accosted. You smell smoke. You can taste char on your tongue. You can hear the screams of men, many men. And then as you reopen your eyes, and the pain seems to radiate to the rear side of your face, down the back of your head and your neck, pushing this tension into your shoulders. When you peer through it, the room is black. It is pitch, like looking at tar. This is the first you've seen anything like this. When you move it out of the way, it's fine. But when you pull it back, it is as if a shadow is blocking your vision.
Yeah, I was just like shaking his head and looking and touching his head a little bit. That's what Eli sees.
When you focus, you maintain it there, you realize that nebulous blackness has taken on a bit of shape. A small amount of light seems to come through, and you realize that it's not just black, but something is actively covering your vision. Something is touching the other side of the glass, and it's in the shape of 3 fingers.
I was like,
Black and withered. You recognize them as you saw them under the bed.
A monkey paw. Why didn't we know this before? It's a classic monkey paw. 3 fingers, withered. Make a wish. You got 3.
You not read that book?
The stretch.
It'll be fine.
yeah, you
All
just
right,
see
Oz?
Oz kind of freak out a little bit, and then he like puts it down.
I don't think they want us to see it, what that is.
Eli's not happy about this. He doesn't know what's going on. And
Eli.
he's sick of relying on other people. So I think Eli wants to take a look.
When the planchette falls, the white of the eye has grown entirely bloodshot. The stress in her eyes, in Oz's eye particularly, has burst a vessel. There is no immediate pain that you can see on Oz's face, but when the eyes turn, you can see the depth of the blood pooling in the eyeball. In this moment, you want to use it, but are you sure it's safe?
I know it's not safe.
Do you
but
ask
I
for the
wanna-
planchette?
I would like to ask for the planchette. Let me see that, please.
Oz holds it and he's like shaking a little bit, and he says,
I warn you. It's Well, I guess you'll see.
And he wearily hands it to you.
You're the only one that's used it. Maybe it's taking a toll on you.
Oz nods. That is how some magical items work sometimes. Like they can be cursed. So
I will warily take the
agrees.
planchette.
You grab the planchette with care. And it seems like it's warm. Oz has kept it very close to their body up to this point, maintained that closeness. But what's odd to you is that it doesn't seem to be getting any cooler. Brass is very quick to heat and quick to cool, but the strange effect here is that it's not getting cooler. It's actually getting hotter. The heat that seems to emanate from this, as you get it close to your face, before it even touches your cheek, it causes your eye to wince from the heat. And you can feel it now. Your hands are weathered from forging for years. But even this heat is beginning to permeate through that thick and calloused flesh of your palm. You glance down, and the brass is starting to glow. Red as a forge, hot like fire. Give me a fortitude. Do you maintain this?
I'm gonna try to stick it out.
Sure.
Damn.
Very good.
A lot of fortitude.
Not gonna make him re-roll it.
No. Nope, this one's solid. It's burning. It's burning, and it's not just a figment of your imagination. Oz, you can smell burned flesh. It's no longer just that secondary trace of what you had seen. You can now smell it coming from.
Feels like something's burning.
Oz is looking around for something that's potentially burning.
You can see a small trace of smoke rising from his hands as the hair on his knuckles and hands seem to singe away from the level of heat. There's a shake in his palm, but he's holding on to it, maintaining. Do you place this planchette next to your eye?
Think you might be on fire, friend.
Oh, paladins picking up items.
Clearly, something doesn't want us looking in here, but that's not going to stop me. So I'm going to attempt to do it, even if it means I'm going to lose an eye. So I still want to try.
Could I use my mage hand to hold it up to his face for him so he doesn't have to burn his hand?
That is a good call. You could do that. I mean, you can try.
Yeah, Oz will try that.
Go for it.
Wait, I might be able to help you out.
And I'll cast the spell. Is mage hand. And you just see like this hand come next to you. Grab it. Hold it up to your eye for you.
Does it look like a hand? Because all magic is different and it's per the individual. In this case, what does your mage hand look like? Does this come out like, is it a goblin's hand? It's a chicken's claw, okay.
Yeah.
Comes out as a chicken's claw and it seems to clutch the bottom of the planchette.
We'll release it immediately with blistered, burnt fingers.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I'll attempt to look through it myself.
As you can see this moving closer, there are the fittings of the sigil of this planchette. It's glowing with heat. You are certain, as a longtime blacksmith, that if you put this to your face, you will permanently scar yourself.
That's fine.
Good. You're not being
fine.
I was literally just about to be like, Rat, if you don't do it, Rat thinks you're a little bitch.
It's a good looking scar, I'll say that.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
I've got other scars. Scars don't bother me.
Okay. The moment that you lean into the planchette and you can feel that smoke seem to rise up to the eye, something happens. This isn't necessarily what you're seeing, you hear something first. You hear that sizzle of your flesh as it begins to burn the symbol around your orbital socket. It singes through the hair of your eyebrow. You hear a crack. Oz, you see the brass planchette's glass crack. Eli. A message.
I tried to warn you. The forge will burn you now.
You feel an intense, sharp pain in your eye before you're able to glean any details. Take 4 points of piercing damage directly to your eyeball.
Gonna leave a mark.
Yeah.
Do you pull away?
I think that's my god talking to me. Because he mentioned a forge.
Yeah, he said the forge will burn.
And he tried to warn me. And it heated up the metal.
Makes sense. That planchette is probably like not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably made by somebody for evil doings.
What does Oz do in the situation when the planchette cracks?
Gasp.
Give me a concentration check.
Okay.
How long is this taking, by the way?
This is happening, like, you went downstairs, and while you were dealing with particularly
6.
this... oh, God. While you were dealing with Petros, this was happening to them upstairs.
Okay, yeah. My team, it's a team wipe. I'm not even there. it's like, so I walk down, I see the ghost of Petros, I go upstairs, and my team is on fire. Okay, cool.
Your concentration falters for a moment when you hear that crack. You know what it's like for magical items to snap and sunder. More often than not, they can kill people. In this case, you falter, and your spell fizzles. It stops. This is something that happens. When you lose sight or track of something, your spell can just cease. And when it stops, the planchette begins to fall to the ground. I can give you a reflex to try to catch this if you'd like. Or, if you'd rather not, because it's still glowing.
For Cobalt or for me?
For you.
Both?
For you.
Yeah, Oz will try. 19.
Okay. How do you catch this?
Accidentally? Can I accidentally catch it?
That is the best. Yes. Yeah. Describe it. This is your scene.
I think Oz is kind of like shaking his hand and or like trying to figure out why his spell went away, and he's like, oh shit, and he like kind of leans down and goes to like grab something out of his pocket, but then the planchette lands on his hat, like on the brim of his wizard hat or something like that.
Okay. All right. That's easy enough. However,
he's short.
It starts.
He's shorter than
it
Eli.
starts to sort of cook into your hat. You can feel the heat on your dome, and it begins to cook into your leathered hat.
Mail that? And then he realizes it's on his head. He grabs it.
And when you grab it, you can feel that heat again. Give me. I want a fortitude save. I know that's not exactly Oz's strength.
No. 6.
Oh, dear.
It's really, really bad. You panic at the level of heat. It is intense. It is a branding. Oz, you just grabbed a hot rock. What does anyone do when they grab something hot?
Go of it.
Yeah, they let go of it, yeah. Or they throw it. What do you think Oz would do? Do you yeet it?
I don't think he eats it because he realizes what it is, but he does kind of like like let go of it and then it kind of flings up.
Sure. And this is like literally like 3 or 4 seconds. It hits and begins baking into the hat. You feel it, you grab, it starts to heat, you freak out, and then you just kind of release it and it falls to the ground. The glass in the rest of this piece shatters, leaving only this triangular bit in the planchette. There is no dispersal of magic as far as you can tell. Everything seems to look as legitimate as it still was, but the glass seems to no longer yield a functioning eyepiece.
This my group keep fucking around with magic shit. They don't have any. They just.
Gonna have to use the Ouija board if we want answers.
Well, that wasn't how I planned things. Maybe I shouldn't have handed it to you.
As it begins to chill.
Eli is very shaken. He's clutching his eye like this because after the adrenaline of just trying to force his way through it, and then the realization that it might have been his god trying to warn him not to use it, he basically thinks it's a cursed item now, and he's doesn't want anything to do with it. And his eyes all fucked up. So, do I look all right?
When he pulls his arm down after saying, "Do I look all right?" you can see the wards and symbols of Pharasma that circle his eye.
Well,
Was Pharasma on the planchette?
Yes.
yeah, you look great.
Oh my god.
Fine.
Your vision appears a little strange, Eli, as you kind of glance around. There is this sharpness to it. I need a perception, please, from our Oz here. Oz, give me a perception.
Right. I didn't know who you were asking.
Is his eye damaged?
20.
at all?
Every time you blink, there is a sharp pain that runs across the upper eyelid. In Oz, you see he's trying to hold his eyelid in place. And as you're watching, like looking at these, trying to reassure him, yeah, no, it looks fine. It all looks... You notice something is sticking out of his eyeball.
Maybe you just lean down a moment.
I'll do that quietly and allow Oz to assist me.
Now, this might hurt a little.
And I can't imagine
Yank
it
it
hurting
out.
much worse than right now.
He's gonna yank it out in the middle of Eli talking.
Give me... Oh, God. Okay. You have two options
eye
here.
Stuff creeps me out, man. I don't want anything going on with my eye.
You have two things that you can do here. You can either utilize a sleight of hand, or you can give me a reflex. One is for dexterity's sake and caution. The other is for rapidity.
They're exactly the same roll for me.
Well, are you going to do this slowly,
Oh my god, man.
or are you going to do this rapidly?
I think it's like fast.
But you want it fast. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna
I'm
eyeball
about
it.
to lose my eye.
Give me...
Out of character, are you okay with that, Cobalt?
I made my bed when I decided to put the scalding thing to my face. So
Okay. Because if you don't want me to, I don't have to. Okay. So reflex?
Give me a reflex.
Okay.
How many luck... Oh, you have no luck
I have
rerolls.
none. I have
Oh,
0 luck
my
rerolls.
goodness.
Oh man.
Very gingerly, she says, "This is going to hurt." I say she. It's Oz.
Or he.
This man, this goblinoid says this might hurt. And as you're explaining, it can't hurt any worse. There's a pluck and a pull. Maggie, as Oz, you feel the glass shards snap.
Like it's stuck in his eye.
Oh,
You
no.
manage to retrieve some of it.
Oh.
Well, I think you're gonna need to see a doctor.
Dude, leaving Oz to his own devices with like no direction or anything is like just it's just like watching like a car accident. Like it's
Gold.
just, yeah, you can like see both the cars and you know it's happening and you're just like, here we go. Like, here we
I
go.
know I should have killed Oz the moment I
I
saw him.
You kill Oz! Oh my gosh.
Hobgoblin,
Oh,
dude.
Lord.
Hobgoblin.
Yeah,
Goblin,
that's why
die.
you don't let him try to pluck glass from your eye.
Well, you know, Rye, if we had a dexterous person up here to be helping me still that didn't run
Oh,
outside to play in
shit.
the rain, then we would have been fine, okay?
Wait, so it's my fault?
Yeah, don't yell at the healer.
You
Yell
can
at him.
listen. This group has been blaming Rye for things for too long. I wasn't even in that room. I know. Listen, Rye didn't
I got
ask you to
Oh my God.
put some other god's symbols on your face,
I've
dude.
got a
Torag's
ranger,
probably
an
punishing you.
inquisitor, and you, and I get left with the magician guy ripping shit out of my eye. Like,
Listen, Rye and Oz seem to get through things without losing eyes.
What's funny?
Stubborn,
What's
okay?
funny
It's
is,
true, we
is
are most productive when Ryan and Oz are together.
Because Rye is constantly on Oz, like, don't do this. Like, let's stay quiet about that. You know, like, I have to, like, be constantly.
It's like the mom at the mall. Like, no, here.
Honestly, Rye was so surprised that the color spray, like, worked and didn't know what was going on, but it had a positive outcome. And he thought for the first time, wow, Oz can be autonomous and like do things and it not be horrible. So he goes downstairs, he comes back, and Eli's without a fucking eye. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
well, that theory only lasted 5
I
minutes.
wish I didn't have the eye instead of
I'm
glass
not the one who put
lodged
the
in it.
planchette at my eye while it was burning, scalding hot. Okay.
Yeah, you know what though, and I just gotta say, you know, blaming Rye is even further ridiculous because he's the only one that's been like, we need to get an inventory on these items before we start using them. And you guys are like, let's just burn our eyes off and let's shove glass in them.
Look, it never burned for Oz. Oz has been using it like a bajillion times and nothing has happened. And also, he said he wanted it, so Oz warned him before he gave it to him.
Yeah, it's true. No, listen,
So-
Cobalt, as like a role player, I love what you did. I love
yeah,
every second of
same.
it. I
Well,
love
if you think
every
about it,
second
like-
of it.
Oz in military combat, I mean, he comes from like a very militaristic combat. Like, if you're in the middle of combat, you fucking fix your shit and get going. You're either that or your corporal's gonna kill you. Those are the options.
I love it. Like Hobgoblin Society is like, let me see that eye. All right, you're good. Go on out there again.
Right.
Yeah.
Just-
So Oz is just
Splinter.
like, let me see your eye. Crack. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't work the way I
I will
thought it
say,
might.
Eli,
That's so funny.
that the moment that this snaps, you don't actually notice this. You don't have a hold of it. But you almost instantly blink. Your eyes begin to water, and you no longer feel that rigid pain in your eyelid. You are convinced, all intents and purposes, that Oz has removed this from your eye.
Hmm.
Right now, your vision is fine.
Just got a little piece of planchette glass in my face. No problem.
I would say that you're receiving more pain from the burn around your eye.
Hmm. So then I'll be like, oh, thanks.
You're very welcome.
I don't want that shit within 5 feet of me. It's all you.
The camera rapidly
All
turns
yours.
at this point and
Picks it up
pulls.
and takes a step back and puts it in his pocket.
Sure. The camera pulls at this point and moves to the rear ground, into the room where Peverin is and where the children were. They're no longer there. We see that Torvin and that Temerity are having conversation. Not really sure what to do up to this point. Peverin's not moving. He's tucked very, very tightly in. When there is what sounds like a grunt, and then something falls. Something metallic hits the floor, probably 30 or so feet away from you. Do you both instinctively look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You instinctively look in this direction to see what it might be, but you never quite leave the room. You're not sure what can happen next. But when your eyes train back, after hearing this plink, this loud bang above, something new does occur. Should I say someone new does occur? A new figure appears to the two of you in the room. It is a woman. She stands nearest the bed. She's humming.
Do I know this woman?
She's touching Peverin's forehead, petting him like a child. She's humming. The woman that I'd shared earlier. Her hair almost flowing as if water is pushing it above her. She looks down and she's trying to comfort him. She looks to both of you at this point, but never quite stopping her hum, her song. It's comfort. She raises her hand similarly to her mouth, and she continues to stroke his head, as if comforting the child. And before you, smoke begins to fill the room. It pours out from under her dress and then down the length of her arm. And while the hum continues to grow louder and louder, your vision obscures, where you can no longer see the boy, and you can just barely see in front of your own faces.
Do I get a scent from the smoke?
No. And this is where we end tonight's session.
We're all like, ah.
Okay, hold on a second. So, like, Cobalt, you never really asked, like, what's the functionality of your eye? Like,
he said I could see out of it.
Did he?
He did. He said I could still see out of it, and that the pain was gone. And for all I knew, the Oz removed it. So, because honestly, if he said that there was a piece of glass in my eye and my eye couldn't see, and I was literally going to rip my eye out and offer it to my God for displeasing him.
That's fucking hardcore, man.
I was gonna pluck my eye out with my dagger because I pissed off my God. But if I can still see out of it and it's still useful, then I have no reason to do that.
Wow, man. What a wild time. That's what.
Okay, what's the what's the ramifications for having? Okay, like sorry, it's purely out of like curiosity. Not to say that this will happen, but like I've never been in a situation in D&D where we've had somebody who was dedicated to one god and then had branded symbols of another god on their skin. Like what kind of ramifications will that have?
Yeah, but I feel like it's my God that was trying to warn me by heating the metal
It'll be
up.
fine.
And so
we get to see this live. We get to see this happen.
I have an idea.
Sort of fall before everyone else. Either way, I'm very excited about it. I hope that everyone else had a great time watching. Thanks everybody that watched tonight. Let's go ahead and hop on over to our shouts to give everybody an opportunity to tell us what they were doing, and then I'll send them on their way. Our man, Cobalt, the split god. Let's see here. What's this looking like for you, sir? How are you feeling? What are you doing when you're not here?
I've been streaming 12 to 14 hours a day for the last 13 days because new Isaac DLC came out and it is very girthy. So I'm trying to 100% it, get all of the unlocks, check out all the new combinations and stuff. And it's been crazy. I just hit 10,000 sub points, so I had to shave my head bald.
God, that's
magnificent.
That's
nuts.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well
I did
done.
not expect it. I made that goal with the intention of never hitting it as like kind of like a joke, but
Well, you did it, sir. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you.
Yay.
I feel like guilty But because I don't feel like I deserve that. But
You can always
Oh, very
buy
much so.
deserve
You
it.
definitely deserve it.
You totally deserve it.
100%.
guys.
People who don't deserve it don't ever say that.
Mm.
Just
Yeah, well-
just buy me things. Like if you start
I
feeling
mean,
really
that's
guilty,
easy.
I don't know, like
They're like, get a Tesla, and I'm
Like,
like,
whatever I
dude, my
want.
car window doesn't roll up right now. Like, the car layout.
we're
Like, and
friends,
I'm okay
right?
with that.
You can buy him things. Just show up on Tuesdays, and that will make me
See,
very, very
Ello
happy.
is Oz IRL. That's the thing here.
Yeah, this is the first few hours I've had.
I do
to
have
do
a
something else.
Never mind.
Actually, besides sleep or play Isaac or I guess spend with my a couple hours with my family here and there. So
I'm
I
glad
had a
that you've
great
been
time.
here.
It was a good unwinding.
Good.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Stoked. Great, fantastic. Guys, I'll go follow the man there. We got Temerity, as played by Our Lady here. Let's see.
That's
What
me.
was that? Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
So you can find me twitch.tv/Imperial, and the rest of my links are there. What am I doing? Nothing. Really nothing. I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't really stream the last week, and now I'm going to be gone for another week, so I'm just not a streamer anymore. I think that's really what it boils down to. So that's like a year in Twitch time, but seriously, I'm going to, I'll be back, just probably back on my Stardew bullshit.
Well, I'm happy to have that, and I'm happy to have you here. I just hope that you get to feeling better, and that your next week goes swimmingly so.
Yay, thank you.
Of course. We've got Wyld portraying Torvin. Sir, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Wyld everywhere, and whilst I am known as a Minecrafter, it's official now. I'm now a Path of Exile streamer at this rate because my God, that game has swallowed my soul.
I have loved
Good
watching
one.
this journey.
It's such a good game.
I've been following. I've not been able to pop in, but I've been following your journey on Twitter, and I can tell you are loving it quite a lot.
There's a new league coming out soon too, right?
Just about to, yep.
It's
I've
so
never
funny.
really played it before. I started it once, looked at the skill tree, and Alt F4 immediately, and decided that was incorrect and bad of me. I should approach it again, so I have, and I'm in love. Too many systems on systems. I love it.
Yeah, I just a little bit of advice. There is no shame in getting a build online and enjoying yourself, because with that game specifically,
You can build poorly.
you can
Easily.
easily you're gonna build poor, especially like don't even get attached to like your first like 8 characters if you're not looking up guides. Like it's very interesting. But what's really funny about your tweets is like you're like, I just got through Act 1, the shit's insane, like blah blah blah. And it's like I am so envious of that journey because I've been on that journey. Like you're like, Act 1's done, going on to Act 2. It's like some of these people, they'll be through like all 10 acts in like 3 hours or some shit, you know? It's like so nice to see somebody enjoy a game like, you know, like pure, just jumping in,
just
doing
the
the
game
best
for the
thing.
game and have fun with it. It'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. You're gonna
Yeah,
have
enjoy
a
it, soak in it.
lot to enjoy. Yeah. I'm envious.
I might pop in and join you. I've not played Path in a minute. We've got Maggie here. Maggie, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hey, I'm MargaretKrohn, and you can find me at MargaretKrohn in all of the places because that's my name, and that's where I do the things. I do a lot of stuff, so if you're interested in more tabletop RPG action, I play a lot of variety of characters in all kinds of places. I have some other things coming up soon here, like the Gilding Light show that's got announced. That will be every Tuesday or every Wednesday. Yes, every Wednesday, not every Tuesday. I'm here every Tuesday. Days are melding together. Yeah, so Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, come catch action. I'm always doing some kind of tabletop RPG thing. And then also I make video games for a living. So if you're interested in the game that I'm working on currently, it is called Ashes of Creation, and you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. That's
Wonderful.
me.
And last but certainly not least, we got Ello. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you, bud?
I am Ellohime. Welcome, especially all you new people who are here. I encourage you guys to jump on Bubbernaut's YouTube and watch the first couple episodes. I say couple, it's like 5 episodes. If you
6.
enjoyed yourself, 6,
Get
excuse
6
me.
episodes. Yep.
If you've enjoyed yourself, I encourage you to go check those out. You can, I mean, you could just, you'll have, I guess they're doing a link in the chat if you want to check out that link. am more often than not live in the wee hours of the morning. Everybody's giddy, so they think I'm really funny, but they're really just sleep deprived. So if you want a good sleep deprived fun time and you're sitting in bed and you're trying to sleep and your brain won't shut off, then I invite you to come and join me. I play a variety of games lately. I have not been streaming as much. I was doing Outriders for a bit, but I'm actually kind of under the weather, so I haven't been streaming as much. But yeah, by all means, jump over there and check out all my links and engage as you will. Bub, tell us about yourself, and thank you for hosting this and being our wonderful DM.
And
Dude,
all the awesome voices.
yeah, I was just about to say, listen, you are killing it with the ghost voices, and that woman ghost voice.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was so stupid good that I was like you just nailed that voice. It was really awesome.
Thank you.
So
thank you very much. It's me. I tell stories. It's what I kind of focus on. I do play a lot of video games here, but when I am not telling stories here, I'm over on Roll For It. Well, minor hiatus. I'm hoping to come back for some future projects if I'm allowed to.
No, we're not planning to bring Bug back.
Fuck!
I didn't want to announce it anywhere, but this seems like the great place to do that. No,
My
just
heart.
kidding. We'll definitely have Bub back on.
Well, I guess I'm going to have more time here, guys.
There might be other people you'll see on Roll For It too in the future, so stay tuned.
It's for true. Plus, I'm also doing Stitch of Fate, which is a podcast with some awesome people. That's Little Red Dot, Gaming FTL, Mark Mir, that's Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, and Mathis Games, where we talk vampires, particularly Vampire the Masquerade. And man, if y'all haven't caught up on that, we actually just we won like best new improvised podcast for role playing by the Audioverse Awards, which is great. It's fantastic. So go listen to that and come hang out here. And that's all, guys. That's us. And I'm gonna let all of my players go free now. So thanks for paying attention, hanging out, dropping in, courtesy of the raid. Thank you everybody for all of the love and support tonight. I appreciate you. You guys have a good one, and we'll catch you tomorrow, okay? Peace.